Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the amazing podcast, the Uncensored Anime Podcast, where we talk about all things anime uncensored. And we are your hosts. I'm David. We got Jerry. We got Kenny. We're about to do it's the start of a new anime season. I love these episodes. We are going to be doing our first impressions of 12 anime series that debuted in spring 2022. I say 12, not 13, because Onipon, at the time of this recording, is not released yet. So, surprise, surprise, we will be doing 12. But guess what? There's actually another random anime that Kenny and I watched. And I don't have the full title, but the Otome Game one. So, anyway, first impressions episode. Get excited. Jerry, kick us off. What do you want to say to the crowd?
Okay, so let me explain, guys. This season has been a bit of a mess for us because we continued to just not do our appropriate research to figure out what each show was. So we created an initial list of 13 and found out that from our initial list of 13, 3 of them were not going to be available in time for us to actually talk about them. That was a couple of Cuckoos, which is coming out on Crunchyroll, but it's coming out over a week from when we're recording right now, as well as Summertime Rendering and Black Rock Shooter Dawnfall. Those two have both been acquired for distribution rights by Disney Plus, and they have not revealed how they're going to be posting those shows. As of this recording, Summertime Rendering has not aired in Japan, but Black Rock Shooter has, and Disney Plus has not posted anything about its U.S. release. So Disney Plus does have the rights to stream it. We just don't know how they're going to do it. It seems like it's in some sort of Disney Plus jail, similar to what we all know as Netflix jail. They might be releasing it as a full seasonal dump at the end of the season. We don't know. But Black Rock Shooter has aired. You can definitely watch it in fan subtitles if you would like. But for the sake of our show, we like to stick with official releases. So in our initial list, we had a couple of Cuckoos, Summertime Rendering, and Black Rock Shooter Dawnfall, which we will hopefully get to all of those shows in the future. We swapped them out for... I don't even remember which shows we swapped it. Oh, we swapped in Aharen-San. We swapped in Fanfare of Adolescence. And we swapped in Healer Girl. Okay? So then to top that off, we then turned around and found out that there are 2 shows that we were kind of interested in that were actually High Dive exclusives. And we could have gotten High Dive had we maybe planned a little bit ahead of time, but we didn't. So, but the issue is that one of those 2 shows, Onipon, was not out as of this recording. It came out in Japan, but for some reason High Dive is not doing a same day release. They're doing a slightly delayed release, so it's coming out 5 or 6 days after airing, which is also weird. And on top of that, the show I wanted to swap it out for was called Your Boy Kongming, and that's also on High Dive. 2 of those episodes are out on there, but we decided we wanted to swap it out an hour ago, so we didn't do that. So instead, David and Kenny happen to have watched a 13th show that I didn't watch, that they're going to talk about a little bit at the end, but technically all 3 of us only watched 12 shows this season. That is, that is the catch-up. Been a little bit weird this season. We don't have Netflix in the ring at all for some reason. They kind of stepped away for seasonal stuff. They've now just mainly leaned into their Netflix original shows this season. Disney Plus is now officially in the ring, but it's confusing, and High Dive has pulled all of their content off of Crunchyroll now that Crunchyroll has fully merged with Funimation, conflicting. Obviously, if you pirate your anime, then this will be irrelevant to you because you don't use legal streaming services anyway.
If you yo ho ho.
Yeah, if you're riding the high seas, then
riding the high seas,
so be it. But
do they put their arms up whenever they ride?
I guess they do.
Is that how you sail on a boat?
But
how you ride the high seas.
On that note,
the high seas. Yeah.
We're gonna get into our 12 seasonal anime first impressions, which is one of our favorite shows to do. We get to watch 12 brand new anime that have never had anime before. So the main thing of this game is that we pick shows that aren't getting a second season. These aren't remakes. These are, well, we sometimes do remakes. These are shows that you could jump in on episode 1 and potentially start it. You're the one starting it right from the get. So That's why we pick these shows each season, because we want to introduce all of you to potential shows that you could follow along with and actually watch as the season comes out as brand new shows and be ahead of the hype, essentially. So that's why we always like to talk about 13 brand new shows. Gives us an opportunity to sample everything and kind of pick out some shows that we actually want to stick with as well, but also an opportunity to give you guys some impressions of stuff that we think you should watch, essentially.
That's a good segment name.
Kenny, I don't know if
we call it ahead of the hype.
Ahead of the hype.
13
Kenny,
first impressions.
I don't know if you know this, but every time we do this, at the end of each first impression, the three of us we have a very special.
This is a system that Jerry has to. He explains
for those of you that are new viewers. If you've never seen the Uncensored Anime Podcast and also don't understand how thumbs work, then this is the refresher that you need. So at the end of each show, instead of rating it 1 out of 10 like we would normally do, or out of 10 like we would normally do during a full review, since this is just a first impression, we use a very technical thumb system. Each of us rates the show as either a thumbs up, a thumbs down, or a sideways thumb. I'm sure you can read between the lines on this, but a thumbs up implies that we liked the show and plan to continue it throughout the season. A thumbs down means that we didn't like the show based on the first episode and have no intention to continue watching it. A sideways thumb, the most confusing of the thumbs, implies that we liked the first episode, but are unsure whether or not we plan to continue on with it or eventually watch the show. After we've gone over all 12 series that we watched, we will then rank our
thumbs every show up.
And then we will talk about our top 3 and bottom 3 each and kind of deduce a top 3 for the UAP as a whole, which would be our 3 biggest suggestions for you as a viewer to go and check out if you haven't already. If you're joining us now after having already watched the 12 shows that we've watched, then welcome. I hope you enjoy our first impressions, and hopefully you are able to better decide which ones you want to stick with for the rest of season. This is not a semester. And we've been doing this now for what? Well over a year now, guys. I think this is our 5th or 6th season doing this, so it's definitely kind of become a staple of our show here on UAP. So hopefully, if you are for some reason a first-time viewer, thanks for joining us. Thanks for jumping in. I hope you enjoy, and I hope you get a little something out of this. So the way we're going to do this is David is going to introduce a show. He's going to tell us the name of the show, give us very basic information like what the studio is and what it's based off of. And then he will select one of us boys to give a brief, from memory, description of the first episode. Then we will do an impressions, and then we'll thumb the show and we'll move on to the next one. Just like that. So David, take us away, tell us our first show, and assign a boy to give our first our memory breakdown.
Yeah, David.
All right, I'm gonna do Kenny a favor. So the first show that we're gonna be talking about of the 13 that we'll be discussing in this episode, number 1, Fanfare of Adolescence. And so, if the Fanfare of Adolescence, this is actually an original anime series.
Okay.
Produced by Leidus and Aniplex.
Okay.
So Kenny, take it away. How was the first episode of Fanfare of Adolescence?
Fanfare of Adolescence opens with Yu Otonashi of Mr. Dream, I think is what their band is called, quitting to go to a school to become a jockey. Okay? Now his name is actually Arimura, but he wants to become a jockey, but there's another boy who can speak to the horses or something. And let me just tell you, it looks like there might be some love blooming. This is, bar none, a horse boys love sports anime.
There it is, boys. There it is.
Never would have thought I would watch a show like that.
It certainly ticks some boxes that I also didn't expect the idol aspect of this show. That was something that surprised. There's idols involved. There's horse jockeys.
The opening song is an idol song.
Yeah. There's horse jockeys involved.
Well, I mean, I think it's also to show his classmates are sort of his new idol group. You know,
they're also at horse jockey school. So there's a layer of it being like an academy or whatever, it's like a special academy for horse jockeys.
There are some sports tropes in the first episode that are like too evident of the wow.
Oh, it was almost corny, to be honest.
Yeah, who entered through the back door?
Yeah. Oh, someone entered through the back door this year. And the sensei being waiting out there for him, and I mean just lots of little.
The sports shit, bro.
Yeah, tropey.
I can't wait till he's like, I can my ability is that I'm lightning on the racetrack, and
when he saw the horse, the Sakura Blossom horse in the trail, and it like I was like, what the fuck?
The ghost.
loved
The ghost
loved
horse.
it.
The ghost.
that he
horse.
could just feel it. He could feel it. The horse showed him the way.
The show was corny as fuck, guys.
It was
Yo,
so good.
The
That's
best
what I
thing about
love
this show was the opening song that they played at the end of this episode.
Yeah, that was pretty
song,
solid.
Fucking bop. The song's
Good song.
I think we're gonna have to talk about this season. Had some of the best openings in a long time, in my opinion.
Yes,
some really great opening
and
songs.
endings. Every
We had
single
some
one,
including this one?
I will give Fanfare of Adolescence that. I will give that. For me, guys,
Opening was a
I
bop.
thought this was a really weak showing. It was not animated super well. It was not.
Bro,
You didn't like
what do
CGI
you
horses?
mean?
I-
You
the
didn't like all
CGI
the CGI horses this season,
the
Jared?
Come
character,
on, bro.
the character
You're
design.
horses.
A lot of times when you have an original anime, you have to think about stuff like Skate, right, or like Evangelion, or Darling
Right.
in the Franxx. Lots of these are like major original anime that start as anime, and what makes them like standouts that we look back to, or even something like recently, like Sunny Boy, or
Vivi?
what's another Vivi, or even oh my god, what was that other one we watched?
Gurren Lagann?
Odd Taxi, Gurren Lagann. These are great examples, boys. All of these have fantastical character design, where it feels like a lot of effort and work went into designing each character, making them unique, making them have characteristics. There's a lot that goes in.
Right.
This show felt like
None of these characters stood
like an absolute
Wow.
to
They
me.
were
I
cookie
feel-
cutter anime.
This is
They
actually
looked like
so weird.
I hated it.
I feel like they were like a Fire Emblem crew. That's how I felt about him. And so
That's
it
not
was
a bad. That's
cool.
not a bad example though, Kenny. They do
Yeah.
kind of. It's like 5 guys from a Fire Emblem army. Even
Yeah,
the
that's
like,
right, yeah.
even the like tomboy girl that was there,
Girl.
the one girl, I was
Yep.
like, are you shitting me? And they're like Sensei being like he's got like a little bit of scruffle and some long hair, you know,
Yep,
like
yep.
he's just like the most like played out
Get up.
Sensei.
What was he wearing?
I don't
What
know.
were their outfits?
Is that a horse jockey outfit? That was the whole time that I looked, I was like, is that what horse jockeys wear? I don't know.
They look like little like soldier guys. So
And
Yeah.
even like the blonde fella, the boy that he like kind of gets saved by or whatever. Just
Yep.
I mean, this just felt like what happens when you drop like I just don't know why this I can't even articulate it, guys. I'm so stuck by
Wait,
this
but
show.
Jerry, I do have a question though. Did you enjoy the One Piece references in this first episode
It
though?
was funny, yeah. There was a couple moments that made me chirkle a little bit. I don't know. What do you guys think? I don't know.
This show was just that's just it. It was so everywhere that it made me want to keep watching. And like sometimes anime just does that for me. It scratches that weird ass itch where you're like, what am I even tuning into right now?
Yeah.
Like I remember watching Welcome to the NHK. That show is fucking just bonkers. You're like, what is going
Right.
on?
This show reminded me of that stupid rock climbing show that we watched.
You want Kangaroo Sports Climbing Girls? You gonna
Yeah.
shit on my show though?
The reason
David the whole name.
I told you about that anime. I was like, you should watch this anime. It's about rock climbing.
The reason why
like
is
that.
it feels like this show they pulled a sport that has never had an anime like out of a fucking basket, and they were just like, oh, we've never done horse jockeys before, and they were just like, I guess we should go ahead and produce that one too, you know? I mean, that's what this, and I think that there's lots of these weird sports animes where they're like, what was that one you watched, Kenny, where they played some like game from India?
Water polo?
No,
Kabaddi.
Kabaddi. Yeah, like why? You know what I mean? Like I just feel like this.
I do want to say
one
the
thing,
water polo one was also an original anime.
yeah, and that one had much better character designs in my opinion. Remain.
Yeah,
Natsuko did
yeah.
that one, right?
Yeah, that had a much stronger character designs and a little bit stronger characterizations in the first
Better
episode.
show, honestly. I liked it a lot. So.
Yeah, Fanfare of Adolescence just felt corny. It felt tropey. None of the characters felt original. It just felt like, and not just that, it just was animated weird. The 3D horses. I know horses are hard to animate in 2D. I've heard that before. So the idea, so obviously that means all the horse races coming up are gonna be 3D horses, which means it's gonna look like fucking X-Arm. Yeah, the music was maybe the saving grace, and the fact that it's boys' love is kind of a cool twist on it, I guess.
Yeah, I do. That was my favorite part. Honestly,
I'll give it that.
The catch at the end. The princess catch. That was cool.
he's the prince, bro.
Like I'll give him that there's a fun twist on it.
Let's thumb this bitch.
Oh man. Okay, let's do it. Okay, I mean I'm ready if you guys are.
I'm ready to.
All right, 3, 2, 1.
What?
Yeah, there's a boo.
damn
No, the boo. Thumbs down. Thumbs down.
Yo,
Kenny might actually watch this. That's the crazy
I
part.
already watched episode 2.
he might actually. Yeah.
Lord Jesus
I'm watching the whole
Christ.
thing.
Kenny, you're gonna be learning how to be a horse jockey by the end of the season. You're gonna be
Probably.
jockeying them horses.
Like,
Whatever. This is a weird show, and if you're into
You should
boys
watch it.
love or sports, this might be a fun twist on it for you. But other than that, this might be a tough sell for most viewers. So I'm a bail on Fanfare of Adolescence this season. So David and I went thumbs down. Kenny went thumbs up. Enjoy Fanfare of Adolescence, Kenny. All right, what's next, David?
All right, Jerry, you got the next one. Are you ready for this one? All right, so the next one is The Greatest Demon Lord is Reborn as a Typical Nobody. This was originally a light novel adapted into a manga. Now it has an anime adaptation, and the anime is adapted by Silverlink,
Cool.
which is popularly known as the group that's done. I think they did Grey Jahi.
Oh yeah, like
as
some other
well
random
as some other
isekai
random,
or something, fantasy garbage.
So Jerry,
First
what did you
off,
think of that first
did you hear what Kenny said? Peach
No, I
and
don't
Pod.
think he did.
I think he missed it.
Oh,
He doesn't.
Oh,
Peach
Peach and
and
Pod,
Pod.
Peach and Pod.
that was
He
my
doesn't
favorite
know
show
that
from
one.
last season.
Peach and
actually.
Pod.
Peach and
I
Pod.
brought that
Peach
up.
and
Yeah,
Pod.
Too bad it's not on Crunchyroll yet. Okay.
Yeah,
greatest
Peach and
demon.
Pod.
The greatest demon lord is reborn as a typical nobody. First off, this is an isekai, kind of, because he's not reborn in a new world. He's reborn in his same world. So he's not. He didn't leave World A to go to World B. He's World A and reborn in World A. The basic concept here is that he's the greatest demon lord. He's, it seems like he's used some people along the way. He's lost some friends, and he's ended up essentially kind of lonely and out of touch. Decides that in his second life, he'll be reborn as a typical commoner in his land, and he wakes up, and now he's 10-year-old Ard McFartyfart, or Ard Meteor, that was his name, which is the worst name for a character ever. So Ard Meteor, which turns out he's not really a typical nobody because he somehow retained all of his Demon Lord powers, which was really stupid. The show starts with him like awkwardly trying to make friends, doesn't work. He meets like an elf girl that is like his parents' friend's daughter. She's also kind of weird and fights demons in the forest. Tries to impress her throughout the episode, doesn't really work. She ends up in danger, and then he saves her, and then it like time skips at the very end, and now they're like in school together, magic school.
Yeah.
And they seem to have a bit of a relationship thing going.
Genuinely, like 20 now.
Well, I just assumed it was high school age. It just said some
Isn't
years
he
later.
10? Oh, I thought it was 10, and they said 10 years later.
No, it said like some years or several years later or something. It didn't specify. I just assumed they were like high school age because they're going to like magic school.
Yeah,
but
magic school,
I guess we'll
whatever.
see in episode 2.
An isekai thing. Yeah.
So yeah, it's really fucking weird. I honestly can't believe I wasted 23 minutes of my life watching this show. To be honest with you,
this was honestly
hot garbaggio.
Bro, I thought it was kind of funny though. Like in like just like it was just like so funny.
There were a few
I'll just say
where I chuckled. I was
the
like,
other isekai we watched, I thought was much funnier. So I don't have. Okay,
come on.
Because yeah, this one was the weaker of the two. I watched them back to back, so I was like, yeah, I don't know.
My biggest gripe was why is the title Reborn as a typical nobody, and he's legit just the Demon King, Demon Lord, just as an 8-year-old boy.
Yeah, I think that they should have.
No real difference.
Maybe there was a translation issue. Who knows? It seems like he should just say like, as Reborn as a common villager, maybe.
So the actual Japanese translation is the greatest Demon Lord in the history is reincarnated as Villager A.
Oh, see, okay, that
title makes a lot more
that
sense.
title makes way more. That's what I'm saying. It was probably a translation thing. That typical nobody makes it sound as if he's powerless, but saying like, as a commoner or like a villager, that would have been like
in social status,
right?
He's just a villager.
Villager A would have been funnier, and I think would have maybe because then obviously he doesn't have the social stuff, but he's got the power still. Honestly, though, this was there's no God damn.
There's no easy way to say this. We gotta boycott isekais on this show. I think.
They just keep getting worse.
Not all isekais.
At least for this segment, for this new segment.
Redeemable.
We try. Okay, I'll tell you, listeners. We try every season to add 1 or 2 isekais to this list because 1 or 2 of them always get like a little bit of momentum going into the season. There's always one or two,
Buzz.
and they always get a little bit of buzz as if they have a popular light novel, something like that, whatever it might be. And we try to include those in this list because we feel like we need to at least inform you guys. And honestly, at this point, every season, they're always terrible. There's like the only one that I think has ever impressed all of us was Mushoku Tensei. We went into it thinking it was just going to be another
Easily the best one we've
isekai,
seen.
and then all of a sudden it was significantly better, just better all around. Easily, but yeah, I don't know, boys. Please talk about this because I hated every minute of it. I didn't like it at all.
No, I think we've said it all for this
Like
show,
going off
honestly.
of the first episode alone, I think it was a hella weak first episode. But the build up into the next episode with like the beginning of okay, now he's like more grown up. He's going to school. There's gonna be a lot more characters introduced. It might get better. It might get more interesting. I don't remember the animation like completely wowing me because there were a lot of
It was
times, like,
also
he
kind of
doing
weak.
spells,
Mm-hmm.
and like the animation was kind of meh.
Yeah.
So if that stays the same throughout the season, then that's going to be disappointing. But in terms of just trying to play like devil's advocate, those are like it might get better with the more characters that they introduce. But
Right.
like if the animation stays the same, it's probably going to be a rough season for
Pretty
that.
much, if you're looking for an isekai to just fill your isekai hole this season, this one's fine. That like I don't know how else to put it. Like it wasn't.
There are better ones though to fill that hole with.
I'll say
There's
there's
a
one
lot
we
to-
watched. There's one we watched that I also didn't like, but I liked better than this one.
Right.
So if you're like me and you just won't watch them and you just forget about them. So actually, if you're like me, don't worry about it. But if for some reason you want the opinion of someone who hates isekai to tell you which isekai to watch, I would pick the other one we talk about over this one if you wanted
Okay.
that opinion, listeners.
All right, let's thumb this bitch.
Let's them.
Okay, Greatest Demon Lord, something, blah, 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 nobody.
David.
David's strongly considering
I said
it.
maybe.
He's strongly
I said
considering his
maybe.
options.
Middle thumb because maybe maybe.
Okay.
I will say, David, if you watch episode 2, let us know if there's
watch
there's a shift that happens. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
you
will
tell
let you know. If
tell us.
it gets much better, I will. Let you
What?
know.
Yeah. What if it's good now that they're like teenagers? It's like a fun new show.
I will
you know?
say there was like one line where I was like, maybe there's some fun themes that might happen, but it's not enough to make me give a shit. You know what I mean? There, the one scene between the elf girl and the guy where he like finally convinced her like we should be friends. I was like, okay, there's like a friendship theme or like don't be a bad person theme. And it like flashed back to him.
She
with
was
his,
really.
like,
She was trying too hard to be a tsundere, though. I think.
yeah, this was like a shitty copy of the girl from Mushoku Tensei. Actually, that's what it felt like to me.
Yeah.
What's her name? No, not Roxy.
Eris.
Eris.
Yeah.
Whatever. Boo! Demon Lord, boo! Okay, David,
All right,
what's show number 3?
I'll
Yeah,
do
show
the
number 3. We gotta get
show
through this,
Number
yeah.
3, Skeleton Knight in Another World, the other isekai that we were just referencing. This was
the
also originally a light novel. Adapted has a manga adaptation. Now it's adapted into an anime, and it's done by Studio Kai and Hornets, which Studio Kai doesn't ring any bells. Oh my god, they did one of my favorite slice of life, Super Cub.
Oh.
Shut the fuck
That's
up.
not good. Okay, so Skeleton Knight in Another World, very typical tropey isekai beginning where the character just wakes up and boom, he is in the world of the video game that he plays as his character, which happens to be a skeleton. He's very high leveled, very strong. He has abilities from other classes in this game, which the show, so the episode opens with the trigger warning.
Yeah,
rape
huge
scene.
trigger warning.
Big trigger warning. The show opens with the rape scene. It's not really like a rape scene because there's no like actual like rape that's happening. There's just like a prelude to what could be rape, which is very weird.
Private parts are not shown, but you get
no
lots
nudity.
of you got massive cleavage shots. You literally see a girl's underwear get pulled off, covered in piss. Then you see like just from her like thighs up, her legs just get like jarred apart because the guy is just going for it. You see clothes get ripped pretty much almost completely off. Again, there's no full blown nudity, but it's a pretty aggressive scene for about 45 seconds.
Yeah, it's a really weird decision on this production company's part because it was actually a scene in the middle of the episode. So the episode opens with I guess medias res is the term for it, into that scene. And then we're introduced to our main character, whose name is Ark, and he's a skeleton knight, very strong, yada yada yada. He's coming to the realization that, oh, I'm in this video game world. Cool. Doesn't really question it. He's just like, all right, well, here I am. Let's go have some fun.
Mm-hmm.
And then he stumbles upon the rape scene that we saw at the beginning of the episode. And this scene is it's longer. It's like, I think like 2-3 minutes of this kerfuffle happening. Which again is weird that they opened the show with that just to show it again. Like, why can't you just go straight into
the whole scene gets replayed in the middle of the episode? They don't like, skip a frame.
They copy the frame.
The whole frame happens one more time in the middle of the episode.
It's just like, why? So Arc, for some reason, he hesitates. He's like, should I do this? I'm outnumbered, forgetting that he's really OP, and then decides to help out. Saves the two. It's a princess and her maid. And saves them, and then he decides to join them to like escort them back to the village. Mm-hmm. And then the episode ends with him kind of celebrating to himself and eating a bunch of food, which I thought they would have made like a joke of like all the food like just passing through him, but I guess he has
he has
the ability to just eat stuff and swallow stuff. So so that's like essentially the first episode. So what I enjoyed most about this show so far is, and I've said this before on our podcast, when it comes to isekai, and it's a video game isekai, they like really dive deep into the whole video game aspect of like, you know, equipment, levels, skills, abilities, yada yada yada. And it's a cool thing is that every time Arc does an ability, it does this frame, and it like has the word of the ability that he's doing, and he like shouts it as if it's like in a real like video game. So that's pretty cool. And the animation itself is like not bad. Arc is completely CGI, and there are I think there's going to be certain characters that are completely CGI based off of because I think it might just be the ending, because the ending scene has like all the characters CGI. But anyway, there's a good use of CGI on the show. It's not terrible. It kind of gives me Overlord vibes.
Overlord for sure.
Yeah. So I like this isekai a lot more than the one that we just talked about, like Jerry and Kenny were saying.
100%.
I there's not really much to say. I am just learning that Pharaoh's Eye voices I guess a character that isn't introduced yet. But she voices Jolene.
Cool.
I know Jolene.
Yeah,
that's cool.
But do you guys have anything else to add to that?
Isekais are just so tough, man. Especially these ones are like so similar, you know. And we've just been getting a lot of trophy isekais lately.
The names. David pointed this out. The character in the Greatest Demon Lord is named Ard, A-R-D. And the name of this character is Arc, A-R-C. They are one letter spot away from each other. It's Arc and Ard. So that's the world we live in right now. I actually liked this better than I expected to. It was funny, and I think that's the only reason it kept me entertained. Kind of like when we watched the Slime Isekai. She's killing a bunch of slimes or whatever and being a high level.
Oh, 300 level.
Sometimes if it's like a little funny, it's at least like bearable. Because then there's ones that try to be funny, like the one where he owned that fucking herb shop or whatever. That one was just abhorrently not funny.
Oh, pharmacist in another world?
Aggressively unfunny. But
so tough.
This one, the jokes landed for me, and I actually agree with David that a little bit of the like world building was kind of cool. There was actually, we are introduced to like, he picks up like a mithril stone off an animal he kills. He learns how to like get a guild quest, and even gets like a licensure in the first episode. He understands like how his armor is made and why he has like high level armor. He accesses like his different magic menu essentially. There's like enough like video game spunk in there that if you're like really into the video game isekai concept, you might at least get a kick out of some of the world pieces. Especially because there's also the added element of, I'm a skeleton, so I can't take my mask off in town. So he's kind of like this faceless knight in town, which is also kind of interesting. There also was that weird, like, hovering plot line of the elf that walks by him in the alleyway. I don't know if you guys remember that. I think they kind of like stuck that out there as like, this is clearly something that's going to like lead us on. I don't know. I like this one better. It was better animated than the other one, in my opinion, too. Better designs overall, like better character designs. Other than that, it's pretty much also pretty trash. But
it's an isekai. Like after all of that, also remember it's an isekai.
I did like the opening though. It comes off as like a fucking.
You said this like
it comes off as almost like a Super Sentai opening, yeah. Because the way it's like bam 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 bam, and it's like and then he's like transforming with his armor on and shit. I was like, there's kind of this like weird like kind of I liked the opening a lot. That I remember that was a very distinct. Because other than that, the music was pretty unrememberable. The animation was incredibly standard grade. You know, the rest of it was all pretty just whatever. You know, no real deep plot or anything. But Skeleton Knight. Kenny, you got thoughts? You just didn't even want to talk about Skeleton Knight.
I'm on the boycott niece at this point. Like they are just so copy paste. Like it's just tough.
You're not just trying to watch 13 isekais every season. Maybe we just scratch. We just only do 13.
We should do a isekai only season.
We should have done like an April Fool's episode.
That would be funny.
Oh, that would be funny.
Guys, welcome back to the
like
UAP
we watched.
Next year.
It would even be funnier because us just explaining the plot with different. It would just be an ad. It would be a Mad Lib, literally.
Whatever.
Ark is reborn, and his power is that he's super
curious,
magical.
I'm curious if Skeleton Knight guy got hit by a truck coon or not.
Well.
All right, time to thumbs. Let's thumb this.
Thumbs it up, boys. 3, 2, 1. Kenny, are you down or sideways?
David thumbs up it.
Yeah, David's 100% watching this show.
Oh, I'm watching this show.
Kenny and I are down thumbing this bitch.
I've seen enough.
We're
for
not
me.
on it.
Every season, I need
this
to have.
This is better
at least
than Land of Leadale, though.
Yeah, I would watch this over Land of Leadale also.
And he watched all of Land of Leadale, so.
Yeah.
I did.
Okay, what's the next one,
What's next, David?
All right, Kenny, you're going to be talking about In the Heart of Kunoichi Tsubaki.
Oh, Lord.
I hated this show.
Me too.
Okay.
What?
Me too.
Go ahead.
Kenny, I'm on your side on this one.
I just want to give the viewer, so this was originally a manga.
Ran in Jump Plus, I think, right?
Ran in a monthly Shonen Sunday.
Never mind, I was totally wrong. Okay, cool.
Yeah, it is a shonen though, and it is being adapted by Cloverworks. So, okay, Kenny, what did you think of the first episode?
Okay.
Well, tell us the plot.
The plot of the show opens. Tsubaki is a part of a team called Team Dog in a Kunoichi village in the mountains, and her two party mates have run away. Obviously, ninjas run in teams of threes. Naruto classic. No matter what, ninjas have to go in teams of threes.
Naruto taught us this.
No, it's just how it is. Sorry. Her sensei says, Tsubaki, go back and get your girls because there are men in the mountain and we hate men. So then Tsubaki goes to get the girls. Then she gets them.
Yeah.
And then they're like, wait, maybe we should go see what men look like. Because I guess all the girls don't know what men look like. And also, okay, and we are tuned in now. Tsubaki might be having some feelings for some men.
She likes boys. She likes boys.
She might think that maybe she likes boys.
She likes boys.
And all that happens is literally they hear a boy's voice and they run away, and that's the end of the episode. She brings the girls back. They do some punishment. They don't get to eat.
Yeah.
And one of the girls on her team likes to eat a lot, obviously.
Yeah, she's very hungry.
Nothing happened in this episode, and no answers.
I think that you can easily describe what this is, Kenny. This is horny ninja lollies. That's literally was
horny
23 minutes. This is horny ninja lollies, the anime. That's what this is, and I don't know why this fucking exists. Like, I don't know. I'm not sure who the target audience is. I'm not sure, like, what the expectation is for this show.
Well,
like, I
the
just
target
don't.
audience is young boys. Jerry, come on.
You're right. You're right. Actually, you're 100% right. That's exactly, and it feels like that because they're scantily clad. For some reason, all lollies. The whole
I don't even know if they're little girls. I don't
know their ages.
It's not. Their age is just unidentified.
They look like little
they're
girls.
in some sort of ninja academy. So maybe it's implied that they're middle school or high schoolers age, something like that. I wouldn't put them in elementary school age just based off the way they talk. But they look like elementary schoolers, which makes it even weirder. And Yeah, they're all scantily dressed for some reason, and they all like boys. That's like the plot.
No, they all hate the boys.
No, surprise, guys! That they like the boys. That's the thing.
Only Tsubaki doesn't know, bro. Come on.
And that's the thing, okay? And obviously, this is for young men. This is for middle school, high school age boys to read about ninja lollies that get into antics. Yeah, I mean, it's a very interesting, very strange product that I just don't think is made to appeal.
I don't know how I felt about watching it.
I'm actually, David, you give us your thoughts, David.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I'll play devil's advocate. I mean, some of the cool things that I saw on the show were like when they started doing like their ninjutsu. Like I think when she first found her two members that escaped, and there was like a little fight that they had just because she was trying to wrangle them up. There was some cool ninjutsu animation going on. That was like pretty entertaining to watch. But that was like 2 minutes of the 24 minutes of the episode, and everything else was chasing the girls and Tsubaki chasing her teammates, finding them, and then waffling on if they want to go see the men. They don't see the men, and then they go back. Like the rest of the episode was just pretty boring.
Yeah.
So
Alyssa felt
not really a lot to save this first episode.
She fell completely asleep, like snored out loud, fell asleep watching this. So I was like, God damn, this put her right to bed.
Oh, Alyssa
dog.
did?
Yeah, Alyssa did while we were watching. She fell 100.
She fooled David
completely into the David zone.
Full blown. David zone. Whenever you're David,
that's a sign that it's bad. That's a sign that it's bad.
If you're in the David zone,
so much during Lana Lee Dale.
I'm not 100% sure what. Again, I'm just not. Here's the worst part about this, though, and David was kind of mentioning it: the music, the animation, the designs. A lot of things about this product are actually pretty impressive. I thought it was really animated fairly well. I thought the music for the show was all pretty well done. I thought that a lot of the character designs are actually pretty cool and some of them kind of cute. Like, there's some cool design work going on here.
It just did a good job. It's just material.
Right, this is one of those shows where it's like, I hate that everything aesthetically about it is really well done, but it just does nothing. It's nothing I want to watch, which sucks because I guess someone could maybe say like, oh, I'm watching this because enough of the other stuff is fun. You know, I like the ninjutsus, I like the jumps and the characters and there's enough laughs here and there. I mean, she turns into a frog or whatever when she turns into a boy. Like, maybe there's enough jokes and stuff to get some people through this show.
Naruto?
Yeah, I mean, there's maybe... God damn it.
Frogs.
No.
Let's just end the show.
So, I don't know. It's a tough call. I could see why someone might enjoy this. I could see, but it's just not for me. This is not a show for me. I don't think this show is made for me, so...
Let's thumb this bitch.
3, 2, 1.
Tsubaki, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I'm becoming like a Cloverworks stan, though.
No, I mean,
ignoring what they did for season 2 of Promised Neverland, but like just because Cloverworks.
What are you talking?
I think Cloverworks put out a good. I think Cloverworks.
There was no season 2 of Promised Neverland.
Yeah, I also am confused that you're talking about.
What's going on?
I'm pretty sure there's only one season of that show.
Let's read the manga, yeah.
Okay, so I will accept the thing. David is like, Cloverworks actually is putting out a good product. It just sucks that whatever the content that they're working with here was not something that I have any interest in. There must be is someone out there that wants that content. It's not for me, and I think that's the tough part. Is like, I had to accept that because I think this is also a beautifully done show, just like Akebi was about little girls' feet. And David stuck with that whole season.
It was a show about little girls.
I noticed after the first episode that I was not interested in that type of content, so I had to put that one to bed. Great, incredibly well done production,
guys. Tell us. Get in the comments, guys. Tell us if Akebi is a foot show.
Did you guys not see it? Kaz commented on our last one. Shout out to Kaz Collects. He commented and talked about how it was not. But also shout out to Joseph, who said that Kaz said it is definitely a foot show. Joseph said it's not a foot show. So I don't know who to believe.
There's literally a video on YouTube. Listeners, you can all watch this. If you just search Akebi foot montage. There was like a 3-minute montage of all the clips of feet in 12 episodes of an anime.
There's 3 minutes of feet.
Too many too many foot shots.
Yeah.
In 12 episodes.
Yeah. It's sneaky though, because it tricked David. He didn't even know that there was.
I didn't even
notice there were so few feet that he was just seeing it
was
once
like
every episode.
since there was only like
twice
since there was only like 1 or 2 frames of feet each episode, he just didn't notice that was the underlying. The theme was feet. That was the theme of the show.
Was feet.
Whatever.
The theme of the show was
this
feet.
is in the same zone to me. It sucks that it's just not exactly the content that I want to watch, because Cloverworks is still delivering really high quality products. It just sucks that they're not really the type of show I want to watch. So, David,
Cloverworks is delivering these high quality.
I just pulled an ass for watching a show about little girls'
and lolly
feet.
ninjas. Girl.
I mean, I'm not happy about it, Kenny, but that's what they're doing. You can't lie to me. That's for some reason they're making foot shows and lolly ninjas. I don't know.
I don't know. Okay. What's the next show, David?
All right, the next show is Aharen-San wa Hakarenai, which is Aharen-San is indecipherable. This was originally a manga, adapted. Now it's adapted into an anime, being done by Felix Film.
Yeah.
Which
so
Felix Film is.
Is this my? Is it my turn?
Side Picnic.
I'm pretty sure this one's
Wow,
about a girl. Her name is Komi-san.
No.
No.
Okay, so it's my. Is it my turn? Okay.
Yes.
So Aharen-San wa Hakarenai, whatever the fuck it's called. They start high school, is what I think is implied here, and a guy who doesn't have a great social life tries to make friends. He said he's going to make the best year of his life. Tries to make friends with the person sitting next to him, which happens to be this like very, very tiny person. I mean, she just is aggressively out of place. Doesn't seem to match what's going on. They seem to be like freshmen or sophomore in high schools, but she looks like a small doll, like a little kid almost. Throughout the first episode, he tries to make attempts to like get to know her, but he doesn't really understand what's going on. They're freshmen. Okay, yeah. I was about to say, I think this implied they're freshmen in high school. But so he tries to get to know her. She's like not talking to him. Slowly he realizes she just talks really, really quietly. And he starts to try to adapt and figure out how best to communicate with her. She does speak and has a lot of thoughts. And actually thinks quite a bit. And opens up to Raiko, I think is his name, by the end of the episode quite a lot about, she doesn't feel like she connects with people very well. She's always tried to kind of manage that. But then they kind of start to build a potentially romantic, potentially just friendship. By the end of the first episode, I'm not really sure. It's not overtly romantic, if that makes any sense. The show didn't present as like an overt romance between the two leads. It seems like this could even go the direction of like two very close friends, two people who develop a very special bond. But yeah, Aharen-San kind of gets him into a couple different wacky circumstances. He goes to the game store and they have to get things out of the, the claw machine, and she shares a book with him. It's pretty cutesy. Kind of reminds me a little bit of My Senpai's Annoying as well, but in a different setting. Essentially, very large man, very small girl, same age, same zone, slowly kind of building a connection. Obviously, very different character types in this one because they're both kind of introverts compared to in Senpai, where they were both kind of extroverts. This is kind of a different setting and scenario, but similar kind of concept that there's these two characters that maybe could be friends, maybe could have a romance. Seems like a little bit of both. That's Aharen-San. Thoughts, boys?
I really like this show. I thought I kind of gave me the same feeling kind of with Hikihiro, where I was hoping there wouldn't be a romance budding, like just like a friendship between the two characters. And even though they're both like the same age, it's like if there was a romance that wouldn't matter, but it's just like she just looks like a child. It just throws me for a loop based off of like how she looks.
It's implied that they're the same age and they are in the same, but the character is just like appears very young, very immature. Yeah.
And I think it's like all on purpose just to like really hone in on like how quiet she is and how people just don't understand her.
Right.
So I mean that all makes sense to me. But I think this was the first show out of the group this was the fourth show that I watched. Oh, wait.
This is the last one I watched.
What I'm about to say isn't true then, because I watched Spy Family and Tomadachi Game before this show. I was going to say that this was like the first show that I was like, wow, I really like this show.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I don't really have any like what notes I take.
This show, okay. What is this new trend? And we'll talk about it more as we get through these shows. it seems like these sort of shonen rom-coms are getting like the best animation teams every season.
Yes.
What the
I
fuck
didn't
is
know that.
going
Yeah.
on? This was
know.
a beautifully animated show for no
Yeah.
reason. And it also had
this show-
incredible music
Yeah.
too. I thought this
Yeah.
was really, the music was awesome. The animation was gorgeous. The voice acting was incredibly well done. It felt super well paced. It was not very boring. It was incredibly good at keeping that sort of momentum for a slice of life. I liked this show a lot too, honestly.
Yeah.
I was very impressed by this
I have
show.
a feeling this show will make me cry. Like some point in the season, I feel like
Yeah.
I will get emotional watching this show.
Yeah.
Just from the first episode of the music, the voice acting, the animation, I just feel like this will tug at some heartstrings.
Yeah,
So
I think so too.
Yep.
Kenny?
I don't know. This show just didn't scratch my itch for a standard slice of life show. But
I think
I
there's
mean, it
another.
was-
I think there's another one you probably liked more.
well,
I think you probably like. Well, we'll talk about it later.
we'll talk about it.
But
let's just say there's definitely one that I
felt like there was
I've
one you
been,
probably
been
got
liking.
a little. Yeah. Okay. So what else about this one though, Ken?
But I mean, yeah, this was a good show. Like it was just like, yeah, it just is something that I'm probably not gonna watch again. I just was like, but it was really well done. I think that's something to say about a lot of shows. It was really well done, well executed. So it's like,
Yeah.
it's a finished product and it's worth watching.
Yes.
You know,
Absolutely.
I'm really
even if it's
curious.
not, you know.
Here's here's one thing I wanted to bring up about this show, and I want to hear what your guys' thoughts on this is. One thing I kind of noted throughout the first episode is that Aharen-San seems to, and again, I hope no one at home is offended by this, but I think that if anything, it's just more visibility at all. But to me, it seems like Aharen-San's character could potentially be on the autism spectrum somewhere, and that was something I got a lot of hints for in episode 1, and I wonder if that is intentional by the author. I don't know. I haven't done a lot of research on it. I did note a couple Reddit threads where people have already talked about it a little bit, so some other people have noted some of the characteristics that are similar there. It could be that the author doesn't know anything about autism and was trying to just write like a quirky character and happened to just hit some of these marks. But I felt like it was if the character is intentionally being written as someone on the spectrum, I think that could add like an element to this show that I think could be really interesting, honestly.
Can make it really relatable.
Because I just noted a lot of things about Aharen's characterization. I mean, her inability to understand like social and emotional cues is something that generally is common amongst people on the spectrum. Also, her hyperfixation,
personal space,
her hyperfixation on the claw machine and her ability to do it as well is something that generally is attributed to some things on the spectrum as well. Again, it was just some small things that either the author knows exactly what they're doing, and it's a very intentional thing that's happening right now, or it was something that the author may have accidentally threaded in and didn't even think about that. As I don't know how common autism is in Japan, how commonly diagnosed it is. It's very possible that it's, there's a lot of stigma, especially against mental health things in Japan. So it might be one of those things where the author is trying to bring a little bit of that to it. I'm not sure. It definitely makes me want to watch more because I want to see if that character trait kind of plays out more, something like that. I just thought it was really cool. I thought it was personally very cool if that is the direction the author was going. But I definitely want to do some more research on it and see if the author's talked about it or if there's, because the manga's been out for at least a couple years now, I think. So, I don't know.
It came out in 2017.
17, okay, yeah. Is it over or is it still going?
It's still ongoing.
Okay, so they're only going to adapt.
And this is on Jump Plus.
Yes. This is a Shueisha title, which is pretty cool as well. But, yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think, boys? I guess I'm curious. Do you guys think that there was some of that being, I don't know, like...
I could see that, but yeah, I think I would need more data.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't think about it initially, but like now that you mention it, I agree. I think so too, because there were a lot of hints to those characteristics that they like made a point to say out loud of like,
right,
because she even said like, oh yeah, like people tell me I get too close or I don't know personal space.
Mm-hmm.
And the main character is like, oh, okay, that's fine.
Yeah, that's why it felt really intentional to me. But again, it could just be a total like lost in translation thing, and it could be something where like Japan might, I don't know. So that'd be something to look into. So if anyone listening happens to know any more, if the author does have any connection there, or if there's anything going on there, would love for you guys to leave a comment down below on the YouTube video. and let us know if there's anything there, because I'm definitely curious as well. So I don't know. Okay, guys, let's thumb it up or thumb it. You guys know what I'm going to do. Go. Yeah, it's a thumb up for me. I really like this show. I really like this show.
This is something interesting is that the composer for the show was also the composer for Beastars.
Weird.
I love Beastars music.
Well, I'll tell you,
the opening and ending were.
Aharen-San had a really good. It had a really good not insert. What do you call it? There was a really good soundtrack song that was used that I specifically made a note of. It's kind of like Aharen's like theme song, I think, because it plays a couple times when the character is around in the first episode. And it was a really well composed piece. It was so nice that I like noted it. I was like, wow, that's a really nice. I really liked that. Go back and watch when she first shows up. And listen to the soundtrack in the back of it. I think it's a really well done. I don't know. I noticed it.
Does it have vocals?
Lol. No. It was just like a composition. Like I don't know the word for it.
Oh, like a.
It was part of the score. Like it was part of the musical score. Yeah.
No, I remember the song that you're referencing actually.
Yeah, it had a very unique sound to it, and I remember noticing it. Yeah. I remember thinking like, oh, that's a really cool.
Did it sound like orchestrated? Almost?
Yeah. It had a very cool little sound to it, and I remember thinking, I like that.
Something else random that we didn't talk about that I saw was a buzz on the internet, which is kind of funny. But for Fanfare of Adolescence, the composer for that show is Hiroyuki Sawano, the same person that did musical scores for Attack on Titan and Kill la Kill.
Wow.
So that's a pretty
well. Wow. To go from those two shows to old Fanfare, old BL
Fanfare Adolescence,
BL horse jockeys, my guy.
Okay. That's interesting.
Wow.
Okay, what's the next show?
David.
So next show is Love After World Domination.
Let's hear it,
bud. Love After World Domination. I'll take this one. This was originally a manga, and now it is being adapted by Project Number 9. In one sentence, this is basically Power Rangers, and the Red Ranger fell in love with one of the bad guys.
Yeah.
So, and that's really like the entire.
Honestly, yeah, that's. Yeah. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and do it right now, guys. Waifu alert number 1 of the season. Waifu alert.
Man.
Waifu alert.
Waifu alert.
That girl. Oh, she's a baddie, dude. God damn. God damn.
Almost no one.
You're saying. Oh, okay. I just wanted to make note that.
What did you write, David?
What?
Oh wait, okay. There's like, well, I have another waifu. There's 2 waifus.
Oh no, there's multiple. There's a lot of waifu alerts.
There's a lot of waifus this season. Don't
get ahead of yourself. This is the first waifu alert. This is the first one I remember of the ones we talked about so far. This is major waifu alert. She's great.
Oh yeah. Okay, so just real quick with the first episode. So first episode, we see the Power Rangers. Just like classic. There's red, green, yellow, blue, pink, and our Red Ranger, who's the leader. He fell in love at first sight with one of the I don't even know their organization's name, but they're like
Sweat or something.
They're like, I think Secret Society Gecko. Secret Society Gecko and one of their like lieutenants or captains, whatever. They fight. It's a woman. Red Ranger sees her for the first time and he like falls in love. And so they meet up again. He's like, I need to confess to you that I love you. And she's like, what? No one can love me. And he's like, but I can. And so they start a secret relationship. And then that's essentially it. And now we're seeing they're when they fight, but when no one's looking, they like make date plans, or they're like, I'll see you next Thursday. So it's pretty cute. It's pretty adorable. A lot of times I laughed. The animation was pretty great.
Randomly gorgeous as well. I don't know what was going on.
I don't know what this.
Oh my god!
Highly stylized though.
The cuts too. The mid episode cut.
Oh, so good, so good.
Yes. I mean,
good music as well. Again, another one with really solid music.
I'm trying to live like Red, okay? He was just in the gym.
Bro, that boy is a bodybuilder, man. He thinks about 2 things. He thinks about dating a hot girl and going to the gym, boys. Hell, motherfucking yeah, let's go.
He says that's my hours, okay? Those are my hours.
Up, baby.
To me.
Oh my god.
I love the leader kind of gave me a a Dr. Light vibe.
Oh, the professor. Yeah, he was great.
Yeah.
He had some great lines when he was
Professor-
talking
he
about
was
love.
funny as hell.
Gelato.
Honestly.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, gelato. They're the gelato warriors.
The
Freezing
gelato
Sentai
one.
Gelato
Yeah,
5.
fucking the green one's like pistachio,
Strawberry
the red one's
snowbird.
strawberry. Yeah, that shit's fucking
That's
funny.
so hard. He was like
Snowbird.
pistachio.
Pistachio.
I was
and he has
dead.
like gloves.
Yeah, what the fuck? I was like,
like
everyone
a-
else's power kind of made sense, and the green one was like, I was like, okay. Shit was funny.
Yeah, like the animation of their like special abilities was like really well done.
Really well done. Overall, this shit was
This show was good.
This honestly show
This
was
was
great.
good.
really
So
quirky
that's
and
all I
unique.
gotta say, you know?
Unique take on a rom-com. Like every season there's always, I feel like there's some fun takes on romantic comedy. This one's really fun, and especially if you're a fan of Power Rangers or you ever watched it as a kid, this sort of like spin on it is just the type of thing that we need in rom-coms, because it's just exciting, it's fun, and the characters are honestly hilarious. The fight scene where he was talking about all the shit he dug up on our social media, like just great timing,
I
great
loved
comedy,
it.
great
Loved
comedy timing, great really funny stuff, and in a really unique new setting. And I think that could yield a really funny season out of this show. I want the manga of it to come out in English. That would be awesome.
Jerry,
yeah.
be surprised because it's already out in English. Volumes 1 through 3.
No, you're shitting me.
David's already got him on a
Release
show.
Wait.
date, October 5th, 2021.
Wait, but is it?
By their Kodansha titles?
But is it digital only, David?
Yeah.
I knew it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think
The
we have
manga is
physicals.
licensed in English by Kodansha USA in digital form.
Yep.
Damn,
Yep.
David.
I hate Kodansha. I'm sorry.
Damn it, bro. But it's just ruining your life.
They
Joe.
ruined everything.
They do. Also, I love the. I don't think they did an opening song in the first episode. No, wait, they did.
They did.
They did.
They
This
did.
one
They
did.
did.
Good music.
Opening song banger, ending song banger, done by one of my favorite idol groups, Dialogue Plus.
Oh,
Which
That's
I think
cool.
they did another ending song this season too. actually.
really? Two? That's a good,
Yeah.
good
I think
hit.
they did an ending for. I'm not gonna find it. But,
Whatever.
yeah.
Okay,
so,
let's thumb
overall,
this bad
great
boy.
show. So let's thumb it.
3, 2,
Thumb this
1.
bad boy.
I would give this one a
You
thumbs
love Power
up.
Rangers. You're gonna give it a mid
I
thumb,
know.
boy?
I'm only giving a mid thumb because I have trouble keeping up with rom-coms. I think I'm gonna keep up with Aharen before I keep up with this one. So this is a middle thumb because I really do want to watch this one. I just don't know if I'm gonna be able to keep up with it. So that's the only reason it's a middle thumb for me. But I really liked it. It's still definitely we kind of got all the shitty ones out of the way. Most of what we're gonna talk about from this point forward is like aggressively good. So
Wait, Red
Yeah.
Ranger voices Senku. That's funny.
Oh, really?
Senku
I couldn't
from-
tell.
Dr. Stone.
Oh, that's great. Oh, that's cool. I didn't know.
Okay, so next show that we're going to be discussing is, and Kenny, this is
Kinney.
Healer Girl. Your favorite.
Oh my.
Which, by
Healer
the way,
Girl.
Healer Girl is an original anime
Healer
done
Girl.
by Studio 3HZ, 3 Hertz. I'm
Healer
sure
Girl
that's
was
pronounced.
aggressively good. That's what I have to say about it.
It was so good.
Describe it, Kenny. Describe it.
Healer Girl. So Healer Girl is like it's set in an alternate reality where there's a third style of medicine called healing medicine or song medicine, and our story is about a group of young girls who are studying as apprentices, where all you do is you like tailor songs to different illnesses to heal people, but it's all a musical. Everybody be singing all the time, and obviously I am the main girl. David is the girl with the big titties, and Jerry is the girl with the blonde hair.
That's
'Cause
us,
he's
guys.
all-
We
He's
did it.
100% for the waifu doctor, just like the blonde girl.
Guys.
Oh, that
Waifu-
doctor's a waifu.
Waifu alert number 2, boys!
Oh,
Woo, woo, woo,
bro,
woo,
she was a waifu.
woo, woo. Honestly, both the older doctors were kind of waifus. I'm not even
We're
gonna
like,
cap.
wait a
The
second.
the pharmacist lady and the one
Yep.
who's like the healer girl, like main doctor,
Yeah,
or
the
whatever.
main healer girl.
They're fucking babes. They're educated. They were at the college giving a present. Those men in the audience were like, "Damn, these are the top. This is where." And I was like, I want to appreciate those women as much as they do. Okay,
Out
I
here
was like,
just
give
live
me-
with songs, bro.
Did you see how well she when the grandma got in the thing? She told them exactly what to. Bro, that's
She
the
was
kind of
like,
woman.
She's got all these afflictions.
Oh
so
my-
they- I called them ahead of time. Just
Waifu
Yeah.
alert. big time.
She really did do that, bro.
Yeah, I was a big fan.
But
of
yeah,
both
I'm the main girl. Yeah, David's a big titty girl. Jerry's the blonde girl.
I'll take it.
No, I
Accurate.
Yeah.
That's accurate. Yeah.
Healer Girl was so good though. I loved it so much. I can't wait. I haven't watched episode 2 yet.
I haven't
I'm
either.
gonna watch
shed
it
a
after
tear, I'm not
this.
gonna lie. When she was singing that song to that old lady, I almost cried. I was
Yeah,
like,
it was
this
good.
Her
The
singing,
music is
I was like,
good
these
too.
vocals are beautiful.
I also love that each of the girls kind of has a different style too.
Yes.
Like the blonde girl sings like rock and roll ish,
Mm-hmm.
and then like the titty girl sings like almost idolish, and then the main girl is like, I don't know, anime. I would say.
Yeah, she like anime opening song style.
Yeah, she sounds
the
like
word.
one of the main.
That's the word that I would describe it as. Which I think she sings the opening song, if I remember
Well,
correctly. I think the
I
actual.
think they sing it together.
Oh yeah, I guess all three of them probably are on it. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
But beside the point, this show surprised the hell out of me, guys.
Healer Girl.
I thought this was gonna be some other trash Kitty wanted us to watch.
No,
Kitty added
what?
this. I went into this with zero expectation. I read the description. I was like, oh, this is some trash, like some fantasy bullshit that Kenny wants to watch. I don't know. Turns out it's way cooler than that. This is definitely going to be one of those shows where it's like, it's not going to be perfect, but like everyone should watch it that's watching this podcast right now. Go watch episode 1. You're going to have a good time. The music was fun. The characters were awesome, well designed. It's an original anime.
Yep.
Yeah, it's original.
Really fun characters, really awesome musical numbers. God, I got to give it to you, Ken. This was a good choice.
Healer Girl.
David. I'm looking at the person that directed this, and they directed OG. Oh wait, they did some key animation for Cowboy Bebop.
Interesting.
For Soul Eater.
Oh, yeah,
some
this
stuff for
show-
Brotherhood.
Also beautifully animated for no reason.
Yeah.
Oh, beautifully animated.
And
Yeah.
gorgeous
The
for
whole
no
thing.
reason.
I'm just saying, this show is stitched up. Okay, let me tell you.
Yeah, I think that my only small critique might be is that there's a couple tropes that might come that I noted. It's got a little bit of tropiness to it, but it doesn't take away from the originality of the premise. This idea that there's this sort of new, I can't think of any other show that's ever utilized something like this. But it looks like the trailer for episode 2 looks like they're going to like Healer Girl school or some shit, or there's school involved. I hope that doesn't like take me out of it, because I liked it. They were like these live-ins at this like medical facility thing. I hope the school aspect doesn't take me out of it, because this might be one of the shows that, because with these original animes, we get all hyped up in the first episode or two. By like mid to end season, we're like, oh no, it's not.
Oh, what's going
It's
on?
gonna
It
go
doesn't
one
pull
way or
all the.
the other.
Yeah, it always goes one. It either finishes strong, or it flops in the end, which always sucks, because when you get cool premises like this, you could do either way. But if the music is consistent, this might be a lot of fun, at least to just stick around with. But
Yeah.
that's my only thought. That was my only critique. There's a couple tropes at play, but I really love the character designs. I think they all look really, really well done. Which
They
is
really stand out.
that's really like make or break for me with original anime sometimes, because they can sometimes be Fanfare of Adolescence.
Which I think, out of all the original anime that I've seen that we've talked about, I think Fanfare of Adolescence is the only original one that doesn't have any unique designs.
Yeah.
Because, like, Akudama Drive,
Odd Taxi, Vivi,
Odd Taxi,
Sunny Boy,
the Wonder Egg Priority.
Wonder Egg Priority. Those are all originals, and they were all very well
they're all
designed.
super, the designs for those are all very unique. So
Yeah, I don't know what happened with Fanfare of Adolescence, guys.
Hey,
just to shit on Fanfare of Adolescence.
I'm sorry.
Hey, I
Just
like-
kidding. Just
I'm
kidding.
gonna watch that show. And
Well, I'll
then-
give it to you, Kenny. Great choice. Let's
Okay, yeah, let's
thumbs
let's thumb this.
this. 3, 2,
1,
1.
2, 3. 3, 2,
I'm-
1, 1, 2, 3.
I'm doing side again just because I don't know if I'll be able to keep up with it. This might be one that This could be one that I might binge at the end of the season. I could see myself. This could be a fun binge, but especially if it's only like 12 episodes or something,
And the musicals are cool.
Yeah. So I'm gonna give it a side thumb. Kenny and David are going full in on it though. Y'all are both healer girls, huh?
I'm a healer girl.
Be healing.
All right.
All right, next one that we're going to be talking about is Shikamori's Not Just a Cutie.
Is that me?
This is, I think, it's
Jeremiah.
Jerry's turn. Originally a manga adapted by Doga Kobo.
Cool.
And I don't know what the fuck they've done. They've done a lot of stuff. They did My Senpai is Annoying, which that show is beautiful. and they did Ikebukuro Escape Part, which
Oh, I remember that one.
I remember that one too.
I thought that show
we
looked
talked
good
about that
though.
one.
Yeah, and we never went
So-
back to that one. I never did. I watched episode 1. and
Maybe
I-
I'll go back and watch it, bro.
It was
I
not
wanted
terrible.
to-
Okay,
All right, Jerry,
Shikamori's not
what-
just a cutie. Pretty standard high school romance here. Interestingly enough, they're not freshmen and they're not seniors. They're actually the middle. They're second years.
They're
What it is in
second years.
Japan. So they're not first years. They're not third years. They're second years, which is kind of a weird setup. We don't
Yeah.
get that often, but we follow a guy who is pretty much aggressively unlucky. He has a lot of dumb shit happen to him pretty much every time he leaves his house, including tripping on a rock, having a bird shit on him, all that great stuff. And he's dating this gorgeous girl at his school. The show opens with him already dating, named Shikamori, and she's sort of this. I mean, she's described as almost looking like a idol girl, but she's sort of this gorgeous woman. But she doesn't just do that. She's also pretty. She's not just cute. That's sort of the concept there. She has a lot more about her. But we kind of the first episode introduces us to the friend group. They go out bowling. That's kind of the back half of the episode. They all go bowling together, and she ends up bowling a perfect game, even though she's told that if she plays it cool and like does terribly, her boyfriend will call her cute. But in the end, the boyfriend thinks she's super cool and really looks up to her that way instead. And the Shikamori kind of has this dynamic with, I can't remember the guy's name. Izumi. She has this dynamic with Izumi where she kind of protects him from the bad luck that he has. And there's definitely something there. I picked up on some dialogue that would imply that maybe something's supernatural might be going on, or there might be some sort of underlying, like, did you guys pick up on any of that? I don't know. Izumi has two or three.
I thought a little bit.
Izumi has 2 or 3 throwaway lines where he seems to think that Shikamori's not just cute. You know what I mean? Like he says it like that, but contextually it feels as if he's saying like, how does she notice when I'm about to be in bad luck? How is she doing this?
Oh yeah, it explains it more later, I guess.
I don't know if it's supernatural exactly, but it's definitely like a special thing that she's dragged into.
Right.
That's the basic purpose of the episode 1 is literally just them hanging out. They go to the bowling alley, they go to class, they meet some friends, we meet a couple side characters, and then they go home together. And it's super cute.
Yep. They're
Boys.
super cute. This show's mega cute.
I
like
love
this.
the ending.
Yeah.
Oh, the little I love
song was
very
so
memorable
cool.
animation at the end, yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, Kenny, what were you saying?
So I read this manga. I've always really liked it. I like the dynamic. I like that it's like, I don't know, that dynamic of like, I don't know, sword princess with like frail leader, if that makes sense. Like,
Right.
That sort of style. I like that dynamic. I think it's cute. I think this show is cute. I really like Izumi a lot. I really like, as you learn to, meet the rest of the crew too, the rest of the friends, Inuzuka and Neko, and they're all really cute and endearing, but oh man, Shikamori is she's just the best. Like, she obviously makes the show, but yeah.
Do we have to sound the alarm, Giddy? Is she
Wee
worth
woo.
sounding the alarm? Is she wee-woo material?
She's a waifu, bro.
Okay, Kenny's putting the stamp on
I
it.
think-
Boop, boop, boop.
She's a waifu.
I have a
Shikamori,
feeling she might be top waifu this season from
They
most
also
people.
dress her.
She wasn't really my thing, but
They dress her a lot
Mhm.
in like, I don't know, like more chic things. I feel like a lot of anime girls are dressed in like particular style, but I think that there are some times where they make Shikamori look cool, which is really, I think it's really cool.
Yeah, one thing I really appreciated is that there was really this show didn't have any ecchi or sexualization like at all, which I appreciate that for a high school romance. Like most of the same thing with Aharen-San actually. They both pretty much avoided any of that, despite both being shonen rom-coms. They both have it's more about the relationships in the context of that,
More
as
wholesome.
opposed to the horny, which I appreciate when that happens. But I do think people in the anime community are going to fall in love with Shikamori because she's kind of a badass, is what I got from episode 1. Boys.
Yep.
Okay, I was like, you guys were like,
No, I agree.
There's nothing else to say. I mean, wait, there is one thing that I made note of.
Oh yeah,
The bowling animation was like really well done.
So
It's
on
just
the
random.
note of rom-coms,
we bowling.
rom-coms
Yeah,
getting the
like,
best fucking
completely
animators.
unrelated, but I was really, when I was watching that first episode, I was like, damn, that bully animation is crisp.
Yeah, again, this is
Some
another
crisp
example of just
animation.
a beautifully animated shonen rom-com. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Like they're put. I mean, I get it that there's been sort of this slow build. I feel like Rent-A-Girlfriend maybe started the dominoes, and Kaguya-sama also. Those are like,
Yeah.
they kind of started this domino effect of like putting a lot of money. Well, maybe it's not even money really. It's just putting a lot of
It's like talent.
Time
special
and
talent
animating.
and effort into these rom-coms where previously they would get really, I'm not going to use the word
Kinda
sideline,
bad.
but the adaptations would just be quickly done. They never really thought that there was much effort needed to make them like really pretty to look at. But I mean, look at Dress Up Darling. They had blinking animation, guys. My Dress Up Darling, the characters blinked. I was like, what the fuck, bro? That's
That was
another
so
level.
wild,
And
so
Shikamori is
wild.
now another example of just it seems like this team,
Really
whatever,
good animation.
put a lot of effort into making this a really beautiful product. So, really enjoyed watching this first episode.
Yeah. Okay.
I like.
What's the next?
Kitty, I like that you mentioned also the role reversal.
What?
This show has a bit of a role reversal concept,
Yes.
which that's kind of what you were hitting on, the whole princess knight kind of thing. Shikamori is not the damsel in
Knight.
distress.
Yeah, exactly.
He's the
Izumi is the
damsel.
princess.
Yeah. And that's another fun concept that this show plays to. So if that interests you, you guys should definitely keep watching this one. I think that it plays into that a lot. So wait, Kenny, don't spoil it, but like, is there something there, like not supernatural?
No,
Don't spoil it, but spoil it.
Yeah, I mean, like, don't I don't know.
No, there's nothing supernatural. Is there something going on? I mean, yes.
Okay, cool. That's what I thought. Okay, so there is another layer there, but it's not directly
Yeah.
like
You
supernatural.
just can't fucking spoil the whole show.
No, it was a simple. It's just like
You just had him confirm
like, has anyone
some
confirmed or
spoiler
denied?
ass shit?
Remember Tonikawa that we watched? Has anyone confirmed or denied what's going on with her? Is she an alien or what?
No, I think
No,
she's an
that's-
alien.
She's probably
That
alien,
has
right?
not been confirmed.
That one's definitely like she's definitely an
That
alien.
one.
right?
That
Did
one
they ever do a
was
season 2
to.
announcement?
Yeah, there is a season 2 coming.
Yeah, they're gonna
okay.
tell her that we gotta find out she's a fucking alien, bro.
Yeah. Okay. Shikamori, thumbs, guys. 3, 2, 1. I'm gonna have to stay side on this one too. I struggle with rom-coms.
Jerry, you can't be afraid of commitment, Jerry.
I
You
struggle
gotta
with rom-com.
Jerry
all the way.
Jerry doesn't
You gotta
up thumb
all
any-
the way.
Aharen-'s the
let's
one
watch
that
the
I like
manager.
the most of the rom-coms this season. I'm probably gonna watch that one. Shikamori and Healer Girl, those are ones I might dip in.
It's
but-
not a rom com.
Sorry, they're slow pace, slice of life, things like that. Things that are a little bit more like that.
Okay. What's the next show, David?
All right, next show is whose turn is it? Who just went?
It's you,
Yours.
David.
It's your turn.
Oh, it's me. It's my turn.
It's
me. I get to talk about Trapped in a Dating Sim. The world of Otome games is tough for mobs, which is the show that Kenny.
That's the one you didn't watch, Jerry.
Yeah, you guys get it done with. Get it over with.
All
So,
right. So-
okay, do you want to do the explanation? This game actually takes a minute.
No. I
yeah,
can wait.
go
It's,
ahead.
it's my turn, right?
Yeah,
So,
go ahead. Go ahead.
So to get this out of the way, originally a light novel adapted into a manga, now a anime done by Studio Engi. Engi.
Engi.
And they did Uzaki-chan, so that's interesting. But so Trapped in a Dating Sim, the world of Otome games is tough for mobs. The episode opens up with our main character, who he is forced to play this Otome game, which if you aren't familiar with what an Otome game is, it's basically a like a dating simulator. So if you've ever played Persona 5, for example, like that, the dating simulating mechanic in that game is basically the entirety of an Otome game. So main character, his sister, for some reason, tells him to play this game and to full complete it, do 100% of it, unlock everything. And he's like, why the fuck do I gotta do this? But he does it anyway. And it montages him playing through the game and going through all the relationships and conversations. And he's like repeating over and over and over, like, this is the stupidest game. I hate this game. Fuck this game. I hate it. And he full completes it. And he's like, that was the worst game I've ever played. And he's played this game for like days straight. I'm thinking.
Yep.
So he leaves his apartment. He's trying to go to the convenience store to get some snacks. He walks down the stairs. He slips and he dies. He like breaks his neck, dies.
Yep. No truck coons involved.
No truck coon, just Stare Coon. So Stare Coon ends his life, and he is reborn in the world into the Otome game as a random character that isn't talked about in the game that he played, but he's reborn like as a
He's
a
like
pretty
a
lower like social status.
low
but, like,
rank
his mom
noble.
is like
Yeah.
higher, And
Yeah,
so
basically, I think that he runs like a barony out or his father does, and
yeah,
then his mom is more connected higher, because it's a
yeah,
matriarchal society.
yeah, like not royalty, but like has some kind of
Right.
connections.
They own some land and
Yeah,
some things that they have to take care of, and they pay a higher amount of taxes.
yeah. And so with his knowledge of the game, because he full completed it, he's like, he's poor. His family is poor. His dad and his brother and himself are poor. But he's like, oh wait, I play this game full complete. I know where I can find something that's worth a lot of money. So he, takes an airship, goes out, he adventures, and he finds like this like spaceship that he plans to sell for a lot of money. So he does it, he sells it, and he gets a lot of money, and he uses the money to go to the school where the Otome game takes place. And so the episode ends with him kind of like walking up the stairs of the school, and we see all the characters of the Otome game that we got glimpses of in the beginning of the episode.
Yeah.
So, for some reason, this is a shitty show, but for some reason, I loved it so much. The main character, I thought he's like very. There's lots of like dry humor from the main character because he's like fuck, I don't have any good examples, but there's just lots of like responses that he does. He's just like, oh, or he'll like say something in his head of like oh, like this is stupid, or like he'll just like throw like random interjections here and there.
Yeah.
And I just think that those reactions are pretty funny, like how he delivers it,
Especially in sort of an absurd world,
right.
Like the world that they're in is sort of like very absurd and like I don't know.
Like like
And
the characters themselves are like very just like super like over dramatic or like, like very hyperbolic.
Yeah. But
So,
I don't know. The game aspects of this one are pretty cool in the fact that like, yeah, it's funny. The spaceship that he steals is like a pay to win spaceship that you can pay for in his original world. So he's like, I'm just going to go take it. But yeah, I don't know. It's another isekai. This one's in an Otome game, but we've seen a couple other ones, Reborn in Otome games before. I know there's Reborn as the villainess in an Otome game. I know there's Rebuild, all but yeah, I don't know. It was fun. I had a fun time with this one. I've read this manga too, so.
Oh, did you like the manga?
Yeah, I actually do like the manga. It also like harps on a lot, like the game in his original world is like very hard. Like it's like a hard game. So that's sort of like the whole thing. Like he's like, fuck, this is like actually difficult to make it through because there's like a war scenario, I think, later on.
Oh yeah. So I think the opening like montage is probably the funniest part of the whole episode because he's like, why are there like what is this game like? What were these developers trying to do? Like they're trying to introduce like strategy and like RPG elements and all this stuff. This game makes no sense.
Yep. Why is every character fucking useless? And it's like, oh well.
Jerry, you would love this show. Look at you. You're like looking at.
Jerry would have hated this show. He would have hated this show. He would have turned this show off
right now. He's like, damn, I missed out on this show.
Okay, David, let's go ahead and give this one a thumb.
Yeah,
bro.
let's thumb it.
Let's thumb it. I'm gonna go with. Oh, I thought if it would have been funny if we both went thumbs up.
Oh, I maybe. I mean, I probably will end up watching the show week to week, but this will be like lower priority.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in our first episode review, the Bald Boys. Okay, back to your regular scheduled WAP podcast. So,
all right, Kenny, you got the next one. The next one we're going to be discussing is Tomadachi Game.
Ooh, baby!
Originally a manga.
We're getting into the big hitters now.
We're getting the big hitters. So we are down to the last 4.
This is also one I've read.
Arguably the 4 most hype shows
for sure.
season.
Yeah.
So Tomadachi Game, originally a manga, has had a lot of live action and television adaptations, and it is now being adapted into an anime by Okuruto Noboru, which I've never heard of. They've done The Hidden Dungeon Only I Can Enter and How to Not Summon a Demon Lord Omega.
Cool.
So Kenny, what'd you think of Tomodachi?
So the plot of Tomodachi Game, obviously it's titled Friendship Game, and the main plot of this show is actually about the friendship between Yuki Cross and Zero Kiryu at the Cross Academy, because this show is called Vampire Night, okay guys? Welcome to the Vampire Night podcast where you get your weekly dose of Vampire Night content, guys. As always, we love vampires and Vampire Night here at the Vampire Night Podcast.
I quit the show. This is it. That was the last straw now.
No!
No, I'm joking. Okay, cool.
Get in
Explain
the
it.
comments, guys. Tag our Vampire Night.
Tag the Vampire Night mention. And people haven't been doing it for a while, so if you guys caught the Vampire Night, get in the comments. Tag the timestamp, guys.
In the comments.
Let's see what's up. Let's see what's up.
Tomodachi Game is about a group of friends. Katagiri Yuichi, Tenji, Shibe Makoto.
I'm kind of impressed with what you're doing right now, Kenny.
I'm impressed.
One girl's name is the bob-haired cut is Shiho.
I don't remember
and then
any of their names.
Sakuragi.
Well, you read the Kenny's read the manga though.
I read the manga.
I only watched a single episode of the show.
I think
there are 20 volumes of content of this.
Yeah,
there's a lot. Honestly, I really like this show or this manga. But okay, episode 1 starts with we sort of are introduced to our main character Katagiri Yuichi, and his mother told him whenever he was young, the most important thing to you are your friends, and that's who you should look out for. And then he sort of then we see this I don't know, maybe he has a troubled past shit. But he's very poor and he's working to go on this field trip with his friends. He saves up his money, and then oh no, the money gets stolen, and the two class representatives are his friends, Sakuragi and Makoto or Shibe. And so everybody thinks maybe they stole it or maybe he stole it, or there are sort of Ephesians going on. And then all of a sudden they're all invited out by different text messages because his two friends disappear for a couple days. They're invited out to the school, and then they get kidnapped and brought into this sort of game called the Tomadachi Game, where a certain amount of debt has already been accrued by the team, and they must now either work to get it off or push it off onto your friends and get off scot-free. And so will you betray your friends, or will you work together in the Tomodachi Game?
Pretty much.
Cool.
Yeah, episode 1 they played the first game essentially to a cliffhanger. Yeah, to a cliffhanger. Yeah. So we didn't get a full conclusion to the first game, but some of the games in this show are some of my favorite. I do think that this isn't technically like a death game style show. Yeah.
Even though somewhat it's kind of. You will be you're saddled with an immense amount of debt, so much so that you really cannot do anything anymore.
But they're not going to be murdered at the end of it, but
but you're
going to owe so much money they might as well.
Right, the company owns you now, so it's whatever. But I don't know. A lot of the games though are really fun. Yeah. I like and so hopefully I know that we'll at least get to 2 that I really really like.
Yeah, I think it's just they're just doing the first. I don't know how much they're adapting, but I assume we're just getting a 12 or 13 episode season. Yeah. David, do you know?
It does not say, but
okay. I can find out. Because maybe we'll get a 24 episode season, Kenny. I don't know.
Yeah. I do want to say though, the Tomodachi Game,
there is a lot to adapt. So
episode 1 doesn't do it justice to how much these characters develop with each other, because we maintain these 5 through the entirety of
That's what I assumed. Yeah.
And so there's a lot that I don't know there's a lot more that's I don't know. It's very fun in the way they develop.
I'm ready for flashbacks. This is going to be a show with flashbacks. I can already tell.
Lots of flashbacks. And
because we already got a pretty integral flashback in episode 1. Him and the girl on the steps, and him helping her pick the stuff up, and her being like, even though we're all friends, I kind of feel like you're my only friend. And he was like, huh? And she was like, I'm just saying. And I just feel like they're going to use a lot of that narratively to illustrate the relationship between these 5, and that's why we only got them as as an initial oh, here they are, and then they threw us into it because we're going to get that as the show goes on. But
yeah, this random article I found claims that there's only going to be 12 episodes. I don't know.
Okay, that might be right though.
That is, but I mean, I'm not seeing anything else.
But Tomodachi Game. What do you guys have to say? Yeah.
Honestly,
you go, Jared.
I'll go first. My only big thing is I liked the story a lot. I liked the dialogue writing a lot. I thought the acting was really well done. Especially the guy who plays the kid thing. I don't know. I thought he was a really good voice actor.
Oh shit! Yeah. Oh, what is that thing called?
Yeah, I don't know what it was. A character from an anime or a kids show, is what she said.
Yeah, it's
essentially the Jigsaw of this show.
Yeah.
But I thought the voice act, all that was really well done. And I'm really this was a show that I immediately after watching the first episode though, I felt like the animation and some of the directorial choices, maybe even some of the music was kind of just weak. I immediately was like, I think I would like this better as a manga. Like, this was one of those shows where I was like, I really liked the story. I really liked where it was going. But I was like, I bet I would have a lot more fun if I just read this instead of watching it. That was my immediate thought because it just feels like it's getting... This is my new verb. It feels like it's getting Tokyo Revengers, if that makes any sense. Like, just not the highest quality adaptation. You know, they're kind of just pumping out because they know it's a property that people are going to tune in for. So, and they're just capitalizing on some hype, and they're, okay, here's the best we can do right now, you know?
It is tough, too, because these styles of shows, like Liar Game, I think, is a big counterexample of this show. It's almost sort of an identical style where it's all about money. But being able to read the explanation of the game is really important. And so, like, early in the game, like, because you'll have, like, usually it's a double-page spread where you have all your rules. Like,
I head-ass paused the show, like, 6 times. I paused to read every one of their... how fast the fucking info about each character popped up?
Really fast.
Oh my god! I was like, no one could read that. I paused to read all of those, and I paused to read the rules of the game because I was just like, so I immediately was like, I should just read the manga. I was like, this is, and that's the way, which is sad because I still thought the anime was fun though. Don't get me wrong, I still kind of had a blast, and I might watch the season all the way through and then just switch to the manga, which I've done that before.
Yeah.
But the
manga is good too.
I feel like I just have a blast reading the manga, honestly. Hey, you
I know what I have.
Getting tired there, David?
Wait, why'd you ask that?
You know, you just...
Hey, he had a 7 a.m.
Just what you were saying was so boring. I just had to.
Wow!
You're just shitting on,
okay, all right.
Game,
yeah, I'm gonna say, what do you got to say, David? What do you got to say?
No, so I think what made me appreciate this show the most was that this was like this show sticks out the most because it's like really the only show this season that isn't an isekai or a rom-com that we talked
honestly
about.
Head ass kinda.
And so I think I appreciated it for that mainly.
Except for these last 4, which are kind of these last 4 are all kind of in their own zones. You know what I mean? But the other 8 we pretty much talked about were rom-coms and isekais.
Yeah,
right.
I could see that.
But no, I like the thriller aspect of this show where like I was getting Death Note vibes of just like the mind games that everyone is playing, and it's really just like the mind games that the main character is playing with himself because he's just like he's like thinking like, wait, are they lying to me, or like where on their cards, why, like who's saying no to these questions. So I'm enjoying like the ride. I'm not really paying a whole lot of attention to like animation because I feel like a show like this doesn't really need, well, I guess it depends on what kind of games that they do.
Right.
If they do a lot of like actionable games where animation does need to play like a key part in, you know, enjoying the game. But I think so far, I mean, animation has been fine. But yeah, I think like the biggest thing that I've really enjoyed for this show is just like how obviously mind gaming and psychological.
Oh my god, I finally remembered what game. I forgot the game that we're currently on, and I remembered in the manga. I was like, this one's a good one.
Oh, god damn it.
Yeah, but I do recommend if you enjoy this show, by the end of it, you should just go ahead and read the manga.
I'm already leaning. I'm thinking about not even finishing it. I'm thinking about just jumping to the manga, honestly.
Kenny, do you know if this is just like the first chapter that it adapted?
This is so the first game goes by pretty quick. I don't know if it's just the first chapter.
It probably was more
might be.
You think it was? Oh, okay.
I think it might be, but I think that a portion of this episode is from a future chapter. So I think that some of the prior to game. I think that the manga actually started with the first game. They were awake in the classroom with the coin and the fox. But I would just have to go to it.
That would make.
And then we had a mild flashback, and then I think that later on we had more of a flashback to what sort of went down.
Interesting.
Oh, okay. So you kind of like shifted the order around.
It shifted it a little bit.
Yeah, but it's not like, I mean, you know, what you can sort of play it anyway.
I think like the ordering of how the anime did it so far was fine.
It makes me wonder if the live action versions impacted that at all, or if they
maybe,
you know what I mean, because you know they've already had this series beat. I don't know. That's where I'm at with it, guys. So
yeah, okay.
Thummy time, or what do you? Any other?
Thummy.
Wait, what?
Dummy.
Did this one have any good music? I forgot. We didn't talk about music on this one. I don't even remember any
I think
music.
the opening song is good, but I think it is on episode 2.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't remember
this episode
music.
ended
So.
with the opening song.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Okay.
Thumb
I thought it
time.
was alright.
3, 2, 1. That's a side
I'm
for
gonna
me,
watch this
boys.
one.
I won't stick with it. I don't think.
I'll keep it up as long as I'm enjoying it. Like I said, I read the manga already.
Yeah.
I feel super
is fun.
compelled to read the manga though. That's where I'm
I'm
at
surprised
with
there's
that one.
no English adaptation of the manga.
At all. Not even a digital
Not-
one.
Not yet.
Wow.
You got a yo ho ho. Yeah, I'm about to say not yet. I feel like this will get announced this year for sure.
Wevin
Yeah,
Wheeze.
manga's on the come up too.
Wheeze?
So,
I can see Wevin
Okay.
Wheeze tackling this one.
what's the next show?
The
I
next
think we're
one
down to the
is,
top 3 now, right?
Yep, Jerry, is it your turn?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, so Jerry, you're talking about Dance Dance Dancer.
Beautiful.
Originally a manga, adapted by Mappa. Anime adapted by Mappa.
Dance
So
Dance
Jerry-
Dancer is a shonen dance manga, and it's about a young man who, when
Seinen.
he's is it a seinen?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, a
Ran into
seinen.
comic spirits.
Seinen dance manga. It has a lot of shonen vibes, but it's seinen, I guess. This is a show about a young kid when he was little. His dad was sort of like a movie stunt coordinator for like martial arts movies. Kind of pushed him to try to like pursue martial arts, but he went and he saw a dance performance, and that dance performance really inspired him, so he wanted to try out ballet. He kind of got picked on and bullied for it, so he said, nah, fuck that, I'm going to do martial arts. Grows up doing martial arts up until I think he's either his last year in middle school, is I think where he is, right?
Yeah, I think he's supposed to be.
He's like last year in middle school going into high school, something like that. And kind of gets dragged back into the dance world because this girl he's got a massive crush on is like the child of the owner of a dance studio close by. And she kind of notices when he's like doing his martial arts that he can dance. So she kind of drags him there, and he's a simp. So he's like, I guess I will dance. And he kind of gets dragged into it, but then he realizes that he really does have a genuine passion, has always had a genuine passion for dance. He was just concealing it because of the bullies and being picked on and so on and so forth. He starts to get kind of engaged mainly by the mother of his crush. She starts to really give him some oomph, kind of kick his ass into gear in the first episode, and kind of get him engaged in this idea of, hey, I think you really should try to pursue this dance thing. And that's kind of the main breakdown of the first episode. There's a couple little small moments here or there, but it's mainly that our main character's name is escaping me, kind of coming to terms with the fact that he's going to do ballet. Versus, I think he's like in, what was it, baseball club or something, and I think the main conflict was like,
yeah,
It's like
it was
soccer and-
the first
Judo.
dance recital
Judo.
and my soccer regionals are on the same day. I'm definitely not going to the dance recital. Like that was like the major turning point there.
I loved it. I actually kind of loved the way the mom was, though. She was like,
Wait,
leave,
wait.
and then she was like, okay.
Wait.
She was like, okay, you better train.
The mom.
Oh, is this a?
Do I need to
are you
get
talking
my?
about
Do I need to get my? Waifu alert!
Wait, the mom?
I think she was a
Yo,
waifu.
I think she was a waifu, baby.
Waifu.
She can dance, David. She was real firm, but she's a good
Grown.
mom, dude.
Grown.
Yo, she's clean. I love grown, mature women, David. That's what I'm all about. And she was
Me too.
she a business
Man,
owner. She's a business owner, David.
She's not the
That's-
best mom of these shows that we're gonna be talking about.
Oh, there's another mom actually that I actually.
Wow.
There's another mom. There's another mom actually that I'm really into as well. But this mom,
Did y'all
Hi-
recognize the voice of Junpei?
high quality MILF. No, who was it?
Daiki Yamashita.
No,
Izuku
before-
Midoriya.
Oh, it was Midoriya.
Oh,
He was doing a
I hear
good job. He was doing a good job kind of shifting his tone up a little bit.
Junpei was his name.
Yeah.
Junpei.
Yeah, this was a mighty fine MILF, though, in my opinion. Mighty fine MILF in Dance Dance Dancer. So
I must not have remembered her because I do not. Wait, this has 23 volumes? This has been running since 2015?
yeah,
Jeez.
there's a lot going on there. But yeah, guys, thoughts on anything else about it?
I really was blown away by the animation. I was blown
Yes.
away by how masculine they made ballet look.
Mm-hmm.
I think that this is definitely a sports anime, and it
I'm really
It-
surprised
yeah.
that it's a seinen manga.
the character. I mean, the idol character they saw with the tattoo.
Mm-hmm.
and the muscles in the beginning in the opening scene was like, I don't know, I felt like a very like you could have shown something totally different to get across ballet, and I think that by having that character be it was, I don't know, definitely something that could, like, you could inspire a young boy is what I'm saying.
Right.
Yeah,
And it was very cool.
I like the theme of just like challenging gender norms.
Yeah.
The show, and that's definitely like a key part of, especially like just the first episode alone of like how when he's growing up, he's like, I'm gonna. He gets bullied for doing ballet because the little boys are like, and that's a girl thing to do. And he's like, I'm gonna prove him wrong. I'm gonna do ballet. And then this is probably fucked up of me, but did any of y'all kind of chuckle with his just because like how the it just cut like.
Why did his dad just die? Yeah,
his dad just died.
His dad just dies. His dad just
like, he comes home and he's like, "What's up?" And then it just cuts to his dad's funeral. I was just not expecting it. It just like,
what the hell?
I wasn't laughing at it. I was just laughing at the fact.
It was sort of
the way the choices there. Yeah,
it was So that was obviously sad, but it's
it was just so weird. Yeah, it was just like.
It was just like so sudden, but no, I really want to see, and like the episode ended with like an introduction of like what appears to be like a rival character.
A rival, yeah.
Which seems like it's going to get pretty.
Also, I assume that's going to be the girl's brother too, right?
I'd imagine that it's probably that's why
they live together, right?
He lives there, so it's got to be right.
Yep.
Yeah. So, I thought that was interesting, but no, I think the themes that this show is tackling is really cool. I think I'm definitely gonna keep watching it.
Beautiful animation,
definitely
beautiful music, great storyline,
CGI dancing done really well,
solid characterizations. I think that we've got a banger right here. That's what we've got. Dance Dancer is a high quality banger. Boys, are you ready for the thumbs?
Ready.
On 3, 2, 1. This is a certified fresh UAP first impression. 3 thumbs up for
this is the first one today.
First one,
yeah.
Dance Dancer, baby.
What's the next one, David?
All right, so we have 2 shows left, and wait, is it me?
Oh,
I should do one, and then you should do the other one.
Wait, what?
All right, wait,
because I read the manga one.
Kenny, what are you saying?
I'll do Aoashi, you do Spy.
Yeah, he just wants to do Aoashi.
Yes.
Yeah.
He reads the manga, so yeah. I mean, I get it.
I would like.
Okay, Kenny.
The thing is,
so then I should go first.
We want the other one to go last. So Kenny, go next.
All right,
we'll
so
do.
Kenny,
okay, so
Aoashi originally a manga.
Yeah, David. Yeah,
there's a spin-off manga, and now it's an anime adapted by Production IG.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Aoashi is about a young boy in Ehime. His name is Aoi Ashito, and he plays soccer. And in the first episode, it's very clear he doesn't care about tactics. All he cares about is taking the ball and scoring it. And apparently, he had been kicked out of a soccer program somewhere else. And then you find out that he also is poor. He got picked on for that a lot, and he gets kicked out of this sort of like regional game. But another person from Ehime, the young new youth football coach of the Aspirian, Tokyo City Aspirian, comes and watches the game and sees something in Ashito, and so he starts trying to teach him after the game.
Mm-hmm.
And then sort of your big thing that you get to find out is that Coach Fukuda is showing Ashito a play near the end about how he created a goal, and he only used a couple of players, but Ashito is like, no, this is why I did it. And he's able to see all 22 players on the soccer field all at the same time in motion.
Yep.
And that's something really extraordinary. And so Coach Fukuda invites him to come out. He talks with his family, and eventually he decides, you know what, I'm going to go out for these tryouts for the youth, Tokyo City Aspirian. There is a bit of knowledge that you kind of need to have in how youth league works, which we don't have it here, but in European countries and everywhere else, and obviously in Japan, soccer teams have youth leagues where they raise young players all the way up to then eventually it's like they graduate directly into.
Yeah, he kind of explained it briefly when he was talking to Ashito.
You sort of graduate.
If you have
directly,
like zero knowledge, you could maybe infer, but
you graduate directly into being a professional soccer player. Like you go, like you basically train, and then one day they're just like, hey, you're going one more door down, and now you're a professional soccer player.
Right.
It's like you train in the same facilities, and you go to the same things. You have similar coaching staffs, and so it's like, and it's a diverse route for most most sports animes in general. There's a very like clear way they do it, and it's through high school tournaments and things like that, going to Goshen for baseball or different sort of high school tournaments. And I think that Aoashi is diverse in the fact that it does tell a youth league story instead.
Yep.
But yeah, what do you guys think
Good
about
shit.
Aoashi?
Question, David, did you say Production IG's doing this?
Yeah, you know what else they did, Jerry?
Well, Kuroko's Basket and Haikyuu.
Haikyuu.
Yeah. I mean, they pretty much had a sports anime under their wing each time, and I actually really noticed in this first episode because their style almost overwhelmed the manga author's style. I actually read the first 2 or 3 chapters of this manga because a buddy of mine had suggested it a while back before the anime got announced. And I read the first couple chapters. The author actually kind of has a different drawing style that's not very standard. He's kind of got like big heads, kind of I don't know what to call it, like big heads, little body syndrome. The manga author does, and
it's good for dynamic motion.
Yeah, I would say he's got a very stylized manga style. Production IG style was actually much more overwhelmingly present in this first episode.
Yeah.
They kind of lifted the look
It looks
of the
like
manga.
Haikyuu or
Right.
Kuroko's Basket.
It looks like this could be happening in Kuroko's Baskets in
That same
Haikyuu's
universe.
world. Yes.
Yeah.
And honestly, IG, they do this shit really well. I mean, I don't know how else to put it. They're really good at sports animes.
They kill
And
sports anime.
when it comes to the directing of it, and I don't know what the team is on Aoashi specifically, but if it's any combination of people from Haikyuu and Kuroko's, they really know what they're doing, and it showed like really well in this episode. I think they elevated the manga material quite a bit, and part of that might also have to do with the fact that the only currently available manga version is not my favorite fan translation. It's not great. I think the translation that was done by Crunchyroll was much better, and that I think also kind of improved it because the scripting was better, it was higher quality. Just a lot of things about Aoashi was really great, but the animation was one of them, and the production, the directing, the choices that were made with the whole team across the board, really cool stuff. But before I pass it over to David, Ashito's mom's hot as fuck.
Oh yeah.
Oh my
She's so
god.
hot, bro.
Absolute
Come on,
MILF.
Ashito's mom.
Absolute MILF, boys.
She's like a lady of the night or whatever.
That's what they said.
Like, I don't know what one of the drink pourers or whatever.
All I want to say is, boys, oh my god. Woo.
Ashito's mom.
I had to
Bring.
ring the damn bell, boys. God damn.
Wait, so
Yeah,
the director
she's
of this,
clean as fuck, dude.
the director of Aoashi it's their first time being in a lead director role, apparently.
Cool.
according
Have they
to
done
Anime News Network?
any
Well,
knowledge?
They've
Any
had
like
a lot
key
of
animation
they've worked on
or
a lot of things.
okay?
They've done a lot of key animation. I'm seeing
Right.
like Gangsta, Omede's
Oh, sick.
Season,
Oh, sick. Also a good product.
Carnival, Hayate the Combat Butler.
Oh my gosh, yeah, they've worked on a
a
ton
lot
of
of
projects.
Fate, Grand Order, Deadman
Wow, the
Wonderland,
Fate shows are beautiful. Deadman's beautiful.
Yep.
So he's got a lot, or he or she,
Space Brothers
they.
Zero movie, but yeah, like a lot of. I don't know their gender, but this person, Akira Sato is their name.
Well, David, what did you think about Aoashi?
I enjoyed it. I liked it. I think I mean like the sports anime formula is pretty basic.
Yeah.
So you kind of, if you go into this show or really any sports show with that knowledge, you don't really get surprised. So I'm kind of getting the gist that Ivy's like special ability is that he has like great like awareness of like the field, of where players are at, and like he's able to make like split decisions in those moments during games. So I'm sure that will probably be his like ability that he'll improve upon as the show goes on. I'm assuming we'll meet other characters that also have like really niche abilities that they'll activate during their games, and so which I'm very excited to see.
Can I ask,
And
David, is this a
so-
shonen or a seinen? I actually don't
This
know.
is a seinen.
That's what I thought. I thought it was a seinen.
Yep.
Okay.
This is a same magazine as Dance Dance Dancer.
Wow. Okay. Very cool. Really big season for that magazine. I mean,
Yeah.
two awesome showings from these two shows for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
honestly.
there might be third? No, it's just those two.
And now, so those of you who are unaware, Aoashi is kind of the main competitor to another soccer manga that's getting an anime adaptation this
There's
year.
not a competitor, bro.
Yeah.
Okay? They're two entirely different shows.
But they're both
entirely...
They're both seinen soccer mangas.
Soccer,
And-
yes, I agree. But they tell two very diverse stories.
Well, yeah, Blue Lock's about something very different. But beyond, obviously, that's coming later this year. It's going to be tough to compete with Production IG, Kenny. The company that's doing Blue Lock is definitely not as mature.
I'm telling you,
Blue
Lock has the superior
storyline.
so.
That's what I've always heard. So if Blue Lock's story hits and they do well with it, I think it'll be great. Any other thoughts about Aoashi?
Nothing for me. I loved it. I'm gonna keep watching it. So let's thumb this bad boy.
Well, I hate this is probably gonna be a UAP seal of approval too. So 3, 2, 1. Yeah, this is an instant. This is
Bang bang boom.
just the type of show that I like to watch. There it is, the UAP seal of approval with 3 thumbs up again, boys. Aoashi, great show, great first episode.
Yep.
All right, Jerry, you ready
then-
for the final show?
What's the last? What's the last show?
I am.
The final show.
David, tell us what that show is.
It's your
again.
turn, David.
Final show. Oh,
Yeah,
it's my
what's
turn.
the
Okay,
show?
it's your
David?
turn.
The
Yeah, David,
final
what's the-
show.
Hey, will you tell us what
Titled
the show is?
Spy Family. Spy Family, everybody. We're going to be talking about Spy Family. Originally a manga, now being adapted by a joint adaptation between Wit Studio and Cloverworks.
Mm-hmm.
Which, very interesting side note, apparently it's been confirmed that Wit Studio and Cloverworks, they're like alternating
Right.
episodes throughout the season. So I think Wit Studio
What?
gets all the odd numbers, Cloverworks gets all the even numbers. And I'm sure I think at the time of this recording, episode 2 is out. I think
it either no,
maybe
it's not
It
out.
comes
It,
out
it
yet?
comes out in the
Is
weekend.
it?
Yeah, it's not out
Is
yet.
it, oh, is it Saturday?
So as of this recording, only one episode is released. So
Oh, okay.
mm-hmm.
So I guess we'll like confirm that once the second episode comes out. But that's been like the.
Well,
the
a lot of
confirmed-
times when that happens, that's kind of what happened with Talked OP Destiny.
Yep.
They
That
also had
has
sort of like an
been
alternating, but the general thing that happens there is I think generally like the animation director is still pretty consistent. It's just that like some of the framing, some of the actual like keyframes, they're like outsourced to the two studio. There's still some, the show's not gonna like look drastically different every episode. That's what
Right.
to warn our listeners, you're not gonna like, it's not gonna look like two separate shows. The show's
Right.
gonna still be pretty consistent. Some of the staff is still gonna be overlapped, and there's probably one animation director helming the whole season still, or at least having a pretty good input across whether it's a Wit episode or a Cloverworks episode. The main thing you're gonna
Right.
see is maybe some small touch-up differences, but it shouldn't be anything major. The show should look pretty consistent still.
Yeah, and the director of Spy Family has been the director for a lot of shit.
Oh
Like-
damn! So he's
like,
coming in with a lot of
like 80s.
work.
Urusei Yatsura was their first animation director.
They've
wow,
been doing
that's
fucking
bad.
anime since the 80s. God
The
damn.
80s. Mason Ikoku,
God
Rurouni
damn.
Kenshin, Hunter x Hunter, the OG Hunter x Hunter. They're director of OG Hunter x Hunter.
9090. Okay.
Give Backers, Gunslinger Girl, Genshiken.
Wow.
I don't really
Alright,
recognize.
What's the
any of these
name?
things
Can you tell me the name of this director?
Their name is Kazuhiro Furuhashi.
Cool. Very cool.
It is
a
man.
David,
David,
what is Spy Experiment?
tell us about
So-
Spy
so
Family. How was the
Spy
first episode?
Family- So first episode, the Spy Family is about, we see our main character who is a spy. His code name is Twilight, and he eventually goes under the secret name of Lloyd Forger. And he's international spy, baby. He goes on missions. He saves the world. He does what he's got to do for the betterment of mankind. And he is assigned a mission that requires him to have a child. So he's like, well, shit, I guess I gotta go get a child. So he goes to an orphanage, picks a girl at random. And he sees a girl, and she like shows him like, oh look, I solved this whole crossword puzzle. Look how smart I am. And Twilight's like, oh, this girl's a genius. Let me pick her. Turns out this child, whose name is Anya, who honestly, she's my favorite. She stole the first episode.
Love-
She's
love
so
Anya.
adorable.
Anya's the best.
Love Anya.
Everyone loves
Love
Anya.
Anya.
Everyone loves Anya. She is telepathic, so she can read minds.
Mm-hmm.
And then so they get like an apartment together. They're like trying to start this facade that he's a dad and Anya is his daughter, and he is trying to get her enrolled into a very prestigious school where his current missions Mark only goes to this school for like donation type of events or things like that. And then at the end of the episode, previous bad guys of the prior mission he completed find out his location, and because Anya's playing with like a communicator, and they like pick up on it and like, oh, he's here. And so Twilight goes, saves Anya, kicks everyone's ass in true spy fashion, and we kind of see like a more like a bond type of bond form between Anya and Twilight, because Anya is a failed experiment, or she was experimented on, and I'm sure we'll learn more about her past as the show goes on. And so so they like kind of form this connection together because of getting saved by Twilight. So the there is one thing I want to talk about that's not related to like this review or whatever.
Okay.
I saw on TikTok. I'm sure you boys might have saw it too.
Okay.
But yeah, I thought this show, I thought the animation was pretty great. I thought the music, I thought I didn't really, so I've read like the first volume of this show, so I kind of knew what was going to happen before seeing it, obviously.
Right.
And it seemed, I think they only adapted the first chapter.
First chapter, yeah.
Like chapter and like
my brain thinking maybe it
part
was
of chapter
actually part of
2?
chapter 2, but I might be jumping the gun.
I don't think Anya gets in until chapter
That's what I
2.
thought. I thought maybe chapter 1 was
Yeah.
just the setup, and then chapter 2 is when that
She,
whole
like, gets-
save Anya part is.
Yeah, and then
okay, so it's like
No,
the first
no,
like,
no. That was all chapter 1. I'm checking right now.
Okay.
That
okay.
that literally where Anya and him, that whole
Okay,
part
so
is.
they need a wife. The stinger, they need a wife is the end of chapter 1.
So like so I say that because like pacing felt pretty good. It didn't feel
Yeah.
like rushed or anything. I didn't feel like things were dragging. So the pacing there felt perfect for me. And we did
This
get
is
to
a
see a lot of
monthly-
action. So that was pretty cool too.
Yeah.
This
This is
is
a
a
monthly.
monthly?
Yeah, this is a monthly.
I thought
so,
it's every
Is
other
it
week or
bi-monthly?
something. I think it's bi-monthly.
It's in Jump
Bi-weekly?
Plus.
Yeah, it's in
Yeah,
Jump
so
Plus.
it's like 27 pages. And I think I think the pacing
Oh,
sometimes it's a little easier to
bi-weekly.
pace whenever there's more pages that way,
Yeah, I mean the first chapter of Spy Family was also 71 pages. So,
Yeah.
Oh,
Um,
okay. Then yeah.
and I'm looking at it right now. Yes,
Are bi-weekly chapters 30 pages?
traditionally, but not it. Spy Family kind of does its own thing because it's digital. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like Spy
Sometimes
Family,
they have like 45 page.
Spy
chapters.
Family, and Kaiju Number 8 both kind of just do their own thing. They just kind of make them. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
they're like
They make
weekly,
chapters?
bi-weekly, whatever they want.
Right, they're not fitting inside of a magazine. So
Right.
Right.
So like the latest chapter of Spy Family was 27 pages.
Mhm.
So just as like a example.
And I know they've been longer too, where they're like greater than 40.
Right.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, here's
And
chapter 50 was only 17 pages.
Yeah, and then
So-
they've been shorter.
There,
Oh.
that's just to give you like an
So it's
example.
just really whatever that manga feels
Yeah.
like.
Yeah.
That's cool.
But
But yeah, I enjoyed it. What you boys think?
I'm about to say, yeah, Spy Family is just so well animated, so well put together, and obviously, everybody's been loving this story for months. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how much else
You think
there's
it's
to
like
say.
lived
I
up to
read.
the-
Wait, say again, David.
I said, do you think this first episode is kind of like lived up to the hype of,
Yeah.
of the manga?
It's tough. It's like I read the first 3 volumes of the manga back when only like 4-ish volumes worth of content. I almost caught up when I at the time, and I remember thinking like, wow, this is really phenomenal. Then it slowly started to like take fire here in the US, where it's getting crazy sales. It was in like the top 10 manga sales in Japan even before there was ever even an anime. This is an already very, just like Chainsaw Man, this is another like very well-loved property already going into the anime series. I don't know what's going to happen now that the anime's out, because now people are totally
they're
that
gonna
weren't
love
predisposed to it are now into it. I thought this first episode was solid. I think that I don't know what it could have done to do like be way better,
Right.
because it was actually really beautifully animated. There were some really solid shot pieces, really great direction, incredible voice act.
love the music, the spy music.
The spy
So
music was
well-
awesome.
So well.
And I just, this is another
Anya's
one.
voice actor, I love.
Oh my god,
Well,
so good.
Anya's voice actor is so I noted that actually.
I just feel like-
Anya stole it for me. I love
And maybe
it.
it's tough because I went into it having read so much more of the manga. Since I've already read like 3 volumes
Yeah.
worth. Maybe I'm having a bit of a predisposition to like the way that I was imagining the characters. I don't know. I don't feel like this elevates the material. Does that make any sense? This is
Yeah.
not like Demon Slayer, where, and maybe it's just because the original is so good. You know
right.
what I mean?
I think. Yeah.
Where-
It doesn't need to be elevated.
Where Demon Slayer and Titan, there's room to make a good story really awesome. Spy Family, it's the manga is incredible. It's a great fucking manga. And it's a great story with a unique character. And the anime was able to maintain that. I just don't think that this is not a situation where it dress up darlinged, you know? It didn't Tokyo Revengers it. This did not elevate the manga. This is not better than the manga, if that makes any sense. Which is tough. It's a tough thing for me to say.
But it's still very good.
But it's still, to process this, it's really good. This was a great first episode. Fucking phenomenal first episode. A beautiful, beautiful job by Wit Studio and Cloverworks. It's just really tough. And I'm scared about Chainsaw Man too, because Chainsaw Man's also an incredible fucking manga. One of the best things I've ever read. I read it live on Twitch. Just an incredible manga. And
I do think Chainsaw Man it's like abstract enough.
It's kinetic.
It can become even, you know.
Right. Seeing some of the action in Chainsaw Man animated, if done incredibly well, it will actually push it a little bit. But Twilight, Spy Family definitely relies on the character interactions, the stories.
Yep.
Because it's really just a strong and super fun story. So it does have, I do think as long as Wit and Cloverworks do what they did in the first episode with the action sequence, and all of the action sequences are just over the top, well animated, that's going to be sick as fuck. Because when you know who gets introduced in the next episode.
Yeah, you know who we were all missing in episode 1?
I would have had to sound the waifu alarm real fucking hard because she's aggressively one of my favorite female characters.
She's the waifu.
Maybe ever. Yor is like a fucking goddess, dog. She's on like Nico Robin Makima levels. You know what I mean? Like I love Yor Forger, dog. She is.
Yep.
Sheesh. I'm ready for everyone to meet her for you anime onlys, and that's not a spoiler. Everyone knows the original manga. If they had, one thing I noted from this is that the manga actually opens with sort of like a cold open where it's Anya, Yor, and Twilight sitting at a table together. Do you guys remember this? The manga opens with like a brief interaction.
Spy, Esper, assassin. And
yeah, the anime completely chopped that. That scene is just not in the anime at all. And that's fine, but it just means we didn't get Yor at all in episode 1, which she was technically in the first chapter, even if it was just like a flash forward thing, you know. She was technically briefly there. And Yor is definitely part of the big heart of this show. It's the three of them together that makes
they're dynamic together. Yeah, I'm about to say it's the best. That's
the season's going to be sick. I think for sure it's going to be a beautiful season of Spy Family. I'm in love with it, and I'm really excited for it.
Supposed to be 12 episodes?
Probably, but there's enough content for them to do more.
Yeah, because it's bi-weekly.
Because of how long the chapters are and how heavy dialogue heavy some of them are.
5 episodes, 12 episodes in spring, and then 13 episodes in either summer or fall.
What is that, Dave? What does that mean?
So they're gonna do.
Are they doing a split core? Are we doing a split core, dog?
I think so.
I fucking hate that. I hate it. Why do we keep doing this? Just call it.
Okay with
just
it,
if you're gonna separate it by a season, call it season 1 and season 2. Like I don't know why we keep doing this bullshit. Like Mushoku Tensei and Komi, they're doing like these season 1 part 2 bullshit. Like 86 season 1 part 2. Just call it season 1 and season 2. Find a way to do that appropriate. I don't know. Now I'm getting.
I have to say my cutest thing of this episode though is whenever they're going and they talk to the lady from next door. And Anya's like, I've been his daughter for some time now. And he's like, too much.
Fucking awesome.
Love Anya. Okay, let's thumb this bad boy.
I mean, guys.
Dude,
what are we gonna do? Let's do it.
Come on.
Okay, I'm gonna do my top 3 first because I have to use the bathroom so terribly bad right now.
Tell us, Skinny, what are your top 3?
This whole time is like
4 shows.
I have to go.
My top 3 shows are Aoashi. Shikamori is not just cute, and Danseur, but I really love Spy Family too, so I'm sorry, but those are my 3. You guys go ahead. I'll be back.
Jerry, you go next. I'm still kind of thinking.
I think that I had 4 that I thumbs up that I really want to stick with, so it's hard for me to kind of say which of the 4 are my like tops. I know Tomadachi Game, even though I liked it, it's not my top because I really think I want to read the manga instead. Of the sort of rom-com stuff, I really liked Aharen-San the most, and I think that would be a really fun one to kind of put in my top 3. But I genuinely think that when I really boil it down, I do think the last three we talked about were the three that I felt are elevating anime this season. And I think that's Dance Dance Dancer, Aoashi, and Spy Family. I think those are your three to look out for. Those are my three. I know Kenny dropped Spy Family for Shikamori. I would maybe do the same, drop Spy Family for Aharen-San, just because I really am interested in Aharen-San. I think it could be a really fun and unique take on a rom-com. So I'm giving like my top four, but whatever. I cheated a little bit, but I'll say Spy Family, Dance Dance Dancer, and Aoashi. But
Jerry, there's no cheating. This is our show. We can do whatever we want.
you're right, but those are my top three. That's my top three.
We can do
Fine.
anything. I'm doing so. I'm looking at this list and I'm thinking of shows that I will absolutely watch week to week.
Well,
right?
let me just help you out. Otome, Game in Another World, Skeleton Knight, and Greatest Demon Lord is a typical nobody. Those are
you might. Okay, so my three. So I'm definitely gonna watch these weeks. So Spy Family.
yeah.
Skeleton Knight in Another World.
I'm okay. I have to quit this podcast.
No,
I can't. No. David, you're out, dog. I don't know if Kitty can hear us from the bathroom right now. Fucking David over here, guys.
And Tomadachi Game. Those are like the three that I would watch week to week.
Skeleton Knight, Tomodachi, and Spy Family.
With honorable mentions for Dance Dance Dancer and Shikamori's Not Just a Cutie.
God damn. Okay.
And Healer Girl. Those I'm gonna do
my shut up.
Now honorable mentions.
Fuck, Kitty left before we could do a bottom three. So,
well, you start with your bottom three.
Okay, my bottom three should be. I think my bottom three should be pretty fucking obvious. Fanfare of Adolescence, Skeleton Knight in Another World, and fucking Demon Lord is a piece of shit or something. I hated all three of those shows.
That's fair. You know what? That's fine. Jerry.
I didn't watch Otome, but that would probably be down there too. So
yeah, probably.
Luckily, I didn't even watch that one, but. Easily for me, they were just weak. They were poorly done. Skeleton Knight is the best of the three, in my opinion. So of the three, I like Skeleton Knight the best.
I mean, I'm gonna watch it week to week. I'm gonna be like Jerry, you're missing out on this heat.
Whatever.
But my bottom three will easily be Fanfare of Adolescence, In the Heart of Kunoichi Tsubaki. Even though I middle thumbs that show, like those two, and then. Actually, this is pretty hard. Probably the Greatest Demon Lord is Reborn. Like those three are like no one needs to watch those shows. Like those are shows that you will miss nothing if you never watch them.
Right. Well, guys, on that note, it means there's no true show this season because David's top three, my top three, and Kenny's top three. There was no show that hit all three of them. But the honorable mentions there would be Spy Family, which are in two of our top three, as well as Aoashi, which is in two of our top three. So those are your two honorable mentions. But obviously take a look at all of the top three that Kenny and David and I put out there, as well as if you really just want to, I don't know, if you enjoy torture, go ahead and watch all of our bottom three shows as well, because why not? We're never going to really know what Kenny's bottom three were because he had to go to the restroom for the back half of the episode. So... Unfortunately,
wait, Jerry, there's one thing I forgot to ask you about.
My bottom three.
And just on time. Look who's here.
My bottom three are the isekai. Probably both isekais and
Wait, there's three. There's like four isekais.
Probably Tsubaki. So the Skeleton Knight, the Demon Lord, and then Tsubaki. I think are my bottom three.
I'll take it. So now you guys know. The hottest trash of the season.
Yep. We didn't talk about the one Spy Family thing. I wanted to talk about River real quick.
Let's talk about
Let's briefly talk. So on that note, guys, thank you guys for listening to our top 12 first impressions. We're going to briefly have a discussion about the Spy Family thing, but if you enjoyed that, keep tuning in. We're going to talk about this real quick. So, David, what is the thing right now?
So real fast, real quick. I don't know if this is a troll, if this was done ironically, or if this was a serious sentiment. But there is a TikTok that has blown up on Anime Talk, and it is about this person who shows the final scene of the first episode of Spy Family, where Twilight lifts Anya up in the air because they're celebrating her passing the test to get into the school. And the claim of the person on TikTok was that Anya is blushing, her cheeks are red, Twilight is like coming on to Anya, like sexual advancement, like this is disgusting. And everyone was like responding like, wait, what are you talking about? Like that's not what's happening here.
This had to have been a troll, right?
It had to have been a troll. But I saw it was like it blew up. Like
yeah. I saw it everywhere too.
It made it to anime Twitter and anime Reddit. So
it was blowing up. And I don't get it.
Everywhere.
It just seemed like a big troll.
And honestly, my brain wants to believe that it's someone who thought ironically it would be funny to do that because so many other anime do sexual.
We're doing
my
that?
only thought process is that's got to be where it's coming from. And it's
right,
not
it was a joke inherently.
Right, that the initial very first TikTok, I think, was a joke. And then people took the joke seriously, and then it spread from there. And people started questioning the joke because obviously people are like, no, that's not the case, blah, blah, blah. That's what I think is happening. It's also
that's kind of funny, I guess.
It's also very possible that the initial poster is just... Man, I don't want to be mean, but yeah, they're just dumb. I don't know. That's
possible for you.
If it's true, then yeah.
Yeah, if it's
still weird. I mean, it gets Spy Family some buzz though. I think
it's gonna. Yeah. It doesn't need it. Does it need buzz? Yeah, it's gonna.
Maybe so. I mean,
what else?
Little extra buzz.
What shows are returning this season? Are there even shows with like big season 2s or 3s this season? I don't know. I feel like
Shield Hero has a big season 2.
Oh, Shield Hero. Shield
Hero's back this season.
Yep.
Kaguya has a new season. I think something else is having a new season.
Is there another couple season 3s actually that are like
that's the only ones. Please, David, it's probably some fucking isekai trash.
I know. Okay, I know at least those two are returning. So.
Let me take a quick peep over to the anime charts real quick. But
okay. Well, yeah, season what's it called?
Shield Hero 2 and Kaguya 3 are the main two that it looks like to me that are
This is throwback?
I think season 2 of Science Fell in Love, so I tried to prove it.
It looks like Komi's back again.
Oh, Komi is season. Yes,
Komi's already starting its second core, which kind of surprises me.
It's second core, not at season 2. That's why.
It's season 1, part 2, which I don't. There's a new Data Live season. People sometimes get kind of hype about that.
Yep. Yeah. I mean we've named what's repeating this season, so
that's really it.
Can I get the honorable?
Oh, the finale movie for Quintuplets airs in May.
Oh,
so it's only about a month away. So that's cool for people who have been trying to stay anime only and don't want to spoil who the final person is. That this would be the one to get. That's it, guys. That's the show for tonight. So thank you guys for tuning in.
Guys. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, thanks so much.
13 episodes down.
We did it again. We did 13 shows. Although I only watched 12. Kenny and David watched 13. So all's well in the world. But thank you guys so much for listening. As always, make sure that you like, comment, subscribe over on YouTube. But also go over to our listening platforms if you're into that. Follow us on Spotify. Drop us a 5-star review. All that stuff helps us out in the algorithms that are on those websites. So pretty much if you enjoyed the show and you do all that stuff, then it's going to help more other people who might also enjoy the show also get access or see the show. That's the way that this works. So just kind of see it as like, oh, if I really liked it, then definitely put that extra click in, and that's going to be able to set us up so that it helps us to just gain some more traction in the algorithm. So thank you guys so much for being with us. This has been another episode of the Uncensored Anime Podcast, and we are saying peace.